All right. This is potentially live. We'll find out in 1 second, guys. If you can hear me, let me know.
Oh, yeah, it's playing on my phone.
Oh
already.
my god. Fail.
Okay. By the way, the background is literally your face.
I know, it's beautiful. Wait, you don't like my face? We got more to talk
don't
about.
don't start this with an argument.
We've got more to discuss if that's the issue here.
Actually, I think that'd be entertaining. Let's bring up something that like makes us angry at each other and just fight for 2 hours.
Oh my god, that would be the best free speech stream ever. Just get mad at each other and air out our dirty laundry.
It's like blood sports, but we just ruin our relationship.
Oh my god. I love it. All right, so this is going to be a super casual stream, as I've stated several times, even calling it the free speech casual stream. I know that a lot of people have been wondering what was going on with our free speech group. We did have, I would say, a decently large group. We ended up hitting really close to 3,000 people, and I know a lot of people enjoyed it. So I just kind of wanted to chat about that. I know it's been a little while because that did go down in April. I did want to give it at least a bit of time to sit so I could gauge the situation before jumping the gun and screaming about Facebook. So that's kind of what the stream is about. Of course, I have also sent out messages saying that if anybody wants to jump in, we will have people in as well to talk with us. I will do that soon, but I do just want to talk about the group first, and I want to talk about Gab, which is where we have migrated to. So, first of all, let me introduce the other person here with me right now, which is Jamie.
Oh fuck! All right, hi. Hey, I'm Jamie. I'm her boyfriend. Oh fuck! I'm trying. I'm playing some Bing Bing Wahoo at the same time to try to act normal, but now the game's hard, so I might start randomly swearing. Um, but yeah, no, I'm just here to ruin the stream. Really, I'm here to make it not normal and just to make it a fucking mess. So
Oh, don't worry.
nice
That's why
seeing
we
you.
love you. That's why we love you. It's okay.
That's why you love me, but no one else does.
That's true.
You're blinded by love.
Oh my god. Okay, so I did see Mr. Shikaki say that he wants to read super chats. We are not doing super chats. My channel's not monetized. I have like 90 subs, so even if I wanted to, which
I'll give you $1 right now, and you can read what I tell you.
He'll just freaking open the door and throw change at me, and I'll have to comment every time. No, but so yeah, if you, in case any of you plan to do that kind of monetization in the future, you need to have at least 1,000 subs to do super chats, and you need to be monetized before that. So your channel needs to be reviewed. I'm not expecting to ever become monetized, partially because I don't really stream much, but also that's hard. I don't know. Plus, my channel is probably just going to be me screeching about stuff. So
I'm going to ruin any chance of you getting monetization.
Well, I'm super pro free speech, right? So I'm not going to censor people. So it's like I'm probably never going to get monetized. But I do appreciate the sentiment, guys. I will still read the comments in the chat, of course. So feel free.
Mr. Shikaki says for $5, answer the Jewish question. Who says pee butthole? The Jews, of course. They're the only ones that say it. Oh, yeah. So, hold on. There's something I want to say real quick.
Okay, go.
So if I sound broken up or weird, so we set this up and everything. She has a blue Yeti mic and all this because I think once upon a time you wanted to be a Let's Player or something. I don't know why you bought it.
No, I just wanted the microphone. I cared about streaming, and then I got lazy, so...
Okay. So anyway, we spent all this time setting it up, mostly Charisma, and we were just planning on sitting beside each other and then just reading, because the blue Yeti mic's great, and then just being beside each other and both talking into that. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then like 2 hours ago, I'm like, wait, how are we both going to listen to the audio? And I don't have a headphone split or anything. So I'm literally in the living room on her like cell phone with her earbuds.
It's kind of beautiful. Okay. When I said casual, I meant it. This is like the most casual you can get. Yeah, Twitch streaming is crappy. Like it's I don't know. Everyone's getting banned constantly there. you only are successful if you show your tits, which I wasn't interested in doing ever. So it's just
I'll
like,
show
there's no
mine.
point. Yeah, I mean, Jamie, he'll probably be successful because he has no problem showing his tits. So.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that in Dark Souls, if you do a dodge roll, you can dodge an attack and roll out of the way? It's really strong.
Oh shit! I gotta try that. Does that work in the game I'm playing? I'm not playing Dark Souls.
And Joe, yes, you're right. 91 subs. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. I thought that was super awesome. I also found it kind of funny that I had a majority of that before I'd even made a single video. I don't know how that happened, but I ain't complaining, so.
You paid a bunch of Mexican bots to sub to you.
Oh, totally. Yeah. That's why I want to build the wall so that nobody ever discovers that those Mexican bots are the ones that are following me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into the free speech group discussion really quickly. I do know that I have some of you from Twitter and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm just going to kind of briefly say it. Essentially, we had a group on Facebook called Free Speech. Very simple, wasn't creative, I know. But pretty much my goal with that group was I was getting really tired of all these other Facebook groups where they would throw so many rules at you and be like, you have to do this. You can only post this many times a day. You can't talk about these topics. Don't get me banned, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, it was like you're trying to promote free speech, but you're not doing it properly, was kind of my thought. And beyond that, there was other groups who obviously were structured and weird. And I just wanted a fun space. I know a lot of my friends, especially, like they were kind of a little more nervous to talk about their views on their actual feed to all their family and friends and everything. And so I thought it would be a good space to like, you know, chat and meet like-minded people. So I made this group. Must have been just, what is it, a year, Jamie? 2 years?
It was like a year and a half.
Yeah, so it's like a year and a half. And, you know, we grew pretty big. I would say we hit just under 3,000 members, give or take. Probably a little bit less than that, but it was still really big, and I appreciated everyone that came in. Randomly, on April 15th, the group got pulled down and put under review. So that's what I'm going to read to you guys right now, and I thought it was pretty hilarious, given just everything leading up to it. I mean, like, the group started out pretty tame. We got quite a few people talking, and then we got an influx of people that were more alt-right that people were speaking out about. A lot more controversial comments then, still didn't get pulled down. And then randomly on April 15th, we got pulled down. So let me read what they said. So Facebook, of course, never gives you a direct
answer. Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry.
It's okay.
I got so far, and I need a save point, and there's a boss walking my way. I'm just dead. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Sorry, go on.
Playing it. It's okay. This is funny. I like it.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Mr. Shikaki says, okay, free speech is cool, but what if people say things you don't like? We just ban them. Like, we had one guy once say Spider-Man is better than Batman. I just banned him on the spot.
No. Oh, my God, no. No, we were very, like, relaxed with it. We barely banned anybody. It was, like, once in a blue moon. But that was because people, like, if we had somebody trying to dox or threaten someone, that's honestly about it. And even then, I issued out several warnings to people. I was never like, oh, ban. So,
it's a boss Zuckerberg.
Oh my God, it's a boss Zuckerberg. Okay, so Facebook says, group under review. Free speech has been disabled because it has content that goes against our community standards on hate speech. Now, I do not agree with the terms hate speech at all. We can get into a discussion with that later with the other guys if you want. But I think hate speech is such a stupid thing.
It's only hate speech if they speak against the Jews, really.
Oh my God. But yeah, and of course, the community standards on hate speech is highlighted in blue, so I can click it and read like pages and pages of bullshit on why they hate conservatives, as we all know. But we remove hate speech, which includes content that directly attacks people based on their race, ethnicity, national origin, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, sex, gender or gender identity, or serious disabilities or diseases. Organizations and people dedicated to promoting hatred against these protected groups are not allowed a presence on Facebook. So that's all we got. There was another message, which unfortunately I can't see anymore. But essentially it was saying it could be an image, it could be a post, it could be this, that. Like, it didn't give us a specific. It pretty much just casually said it could be anything in your group.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you have a group of like, I would say 2,600 people. And
yeah,
people would post
like 2,600.
Go on, yeah.
No, it was just I was agreeing with you casually.
Yeah, and it's like, there's a lot of people in there and a lot of people posting, so it would be really hard for me to kind of pinpoint what the specific post was. Now, they do give you an option. It's a one-time option to go through your group and pick at it and remove stuff that you think could have violated the rules, and then they'll review your group, and if they think it's acceptable, they'll reinstate it, right? The issue I had with this was simply that I wanted to stand by my principles on what I wanted for the group, and I did not want to remove people's posts just because Facebook didn't like it. So I did totally understand that this could be a possibility when I made this group, and that I might end up at a wall where, Zuckerberg wants something different than what we want, and it might not work out. So when I went through the group, I didn't remove any posts. All I did was adjust my description so that it didn't have any swear words in it or anything that could be deemed as offensive, which doesn't touch you guys. I left the rules the same, but just kind of made my wording better, so it didn't seem aggressive in any way.
Yeah, we took out swear words and shit.
Yeah.
Because we were like, don't fucking threaten people. So we just took out the fucking.
Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty much it. And sorry, guys, I'm not looking at the chat this very second because I'm reading this, but I will take a look in a second. But Jamie's still looking at chat.
I see the mention of Nignogs in there. So,
so we had this one chance to review. Now, I'm not going to pinpoint what it is because, of course, I have no proof either way. I did host a banner contest very close to when this happened. And, I love the banner that ended up getting voted in. I really do. But I was suspicious that maybe because of that, because it was right after I changed it to the new banner. And the banner has a bunch of different symbolism in it. It's got a swastika, it's got the commie flag, it's got Trump. It's actually got a sketch of me and Jamie, which is super awesome.
It was like it looked like one of those like political cartoons that you see like in newspapers, but it was like a collage of like communists fighting Nazis. I think it was the fact that there was a swastika there, and that just sent Zuckerberg for a loop.
I think it was an auto flag. There have been some conspiracy theories that maybe somebody reported it. I don't feel like that's the case.
Yeah, we got rid of Lewis. I mean,
yeah. Well, Lewis is a whole other topic, which I'm sure is going to come up. But yeah, so we had that one chance to fix the review. So I did reach out to Mark Myers, who was the person that made the banner. And I just let him know that we did get recommended by another person that's a close friend of ours that maybe we should adjust the banner just to see if that was the cause. And I messaged him and I did apologize. I said, look, this is what I want to test out. Like, we appreciate your banner. We love it. Going forward, if we make any other groups, we'd love to use it, stuff like that. I just want to see if that's the case. And he was totally fine with that. I made that as a public apology and as a private one. So he knows and he's fine with that. And we've now got that banner on our Gab group, which we don't have the risk of being taken down for having that banner. But I will get into Gab later. I don't want to get too much into that right now. So our group was under review from April 16th, which it says was requested by Jamie. So yeah, him and I were sitting together and doing that. If we find that this group meets our community standards, we will notify you and restore the group. If this group still doesn't meet our community standards, it will be permanently deleted. And then it just gives me another link to visit the community standards.
Yeah, so they didn't tell us anything what it was exactly. They didn't even say that our group has hate speech. They're like, it might have hate speech. And if you remember, Zuckerberg, like under oath, couldn't even tell you what hate speech was. He was like, that's a difficult question. While he was like, fucking had a booster seat. So they can literally take down a group for any reason. It could be a group about like puppies, and they're like, there might be hate speech in here. You might have been discriminating against puppies that are Muslim or something. I don't know. That's actually not possible.
Oh my god! I mean, that's a whole other discussion.
But yeah, so the group is still technically up, right? Like, I'm banned on Facebook right now, but the group's still there.
So essentially, like, I'm on my account right now. I can still view it. So let's admins view it. Now, Jamie, of course, got zucked because he called someone a faggot for spoiling Infinity War. And...
Yeah, this fucking guy on like a t-shirt, like, you know those daily t-shirt pages? There was a Infinity War shirt, so this guy in the comments was literally posting screenshots of the end of Infinity War. And if you know what happens in Infinity War, you know that's a big deal. So I just said to him, excuse me, I don't remember his name, excuse me, Bob, can you stop being a faggoty retard and ruining this movie for people? And I get banned for a month, and he's still spoiling the movie for people. Facebook has its priorities backwards, if you ask me.
Yeah, so like as you guys could tell, like Facebook's fucking stupid. But yeah, so I'm the only person that can view the group as of right now. I'm sure when Jamie's back, he can too. I can still see all the active members, all that kind of stuff, but unfortunately, no post can be made. No adjustment. It's pretty much frozen.
3 Muslim puppies. Jamie's waifu is Trump. Yeah, it is.
That's true. I want to say I'm the waifu, but let's be realistic. It's Jamie. It's fine. I've accepted it.
It's Trump.
I thought we could play a fun game. I'm going to read some of the final posts in that group, and you guys let me know if you think those are overly offensive or if you think Facebook's retarded. I have a feeling I know the answer, but you know what? Let's do it.
If I remember correctly, I think because I was looking through it and being like, oh, what could have gotten us? And I think I actually made the worst one.
Yeah, and so like the funny thing about it too is that I've seen some really rough shit in this group, and I have no problem with it. I'm totally fine with it being there. But I thought that kind of stuff would get us taken down. When I was reviewing the group to submit it to Facebook as the review process, I was expecting like insanely like degenerate comments or something, and that's what brought us down. But going through it, I really didn't feel that way. But I'm gonna read some stuff because it's funny. So I won't read out names just because I don't know if those people would be okay with me reading out their names, but I'll read out their comments. Somebody made a post saying, when you're so disgustingly unattractive, you make a movie called I Feel Pretty, just to get some false sense that you're pretty, even though you're the only one that thinks so, and all your other material is slut-shaming yourself, but it's okay because you're Jewish and teenage girls love you. And it's a photo of
Jewish.
It's a photo of Amy Schumer jumping in the air, like cheering. So I thought that was hilarious. There's another one about Pastafarians, which is a video, so I can't exactly summarize that. But yeah, that's like, who cares? Pastafarians, that's not offensive.
I don't even know what that is, really.
I don't really know, but right now it says these people worship the flying spaghetti monster, and it's a bunch of people in pirate costumes feeding each other spaghetti and talking about DNA. So I'm not really sure like how to go about that topic, but that's another post there. Yeah. I won't go too far. I just want to read like maybe 4 or 5. Sorry. So wise words from 1995. I have a foreboding of an America in my children's or grandchildren's time, when the United States is a service and information economy, when nearly all the key manufacturing industries have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of a very few, and no one representing the public interest can even grasp the issues, when the people have lost the ability to set their own agenda or knowledgeably question those in authority, when clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what's true, we slide, almost without noticing, back into superstition and darkness. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in enormously influential media. The 30-second sound bites, now down to 10 seconds or less, lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations of pseudoscience and superstition, but especially, a kind of celebration of ignorance. I thought that was super cool. That's Carl Sagan from 1995. Again, like none of these posts are offensive, right? Like I mean, I guess if you're Jewish, you might get mad at the other one, but
I'm offended for them.
Okay, there's two more I'll read. One of them being Jamie saying Vancouver is a fucking meme because there's a sign saying trans women are women, TERFs and SWERFs not welcome here, sex work is work, white supremacists not welcome here, with an upside down Canadian flag. No to white supremacy, no to fascism, no to Islam antagonism, no to anti-Semitism, no to cis hetero and what the fuck is that word? Anyways,
I think they had a stroke just while they were writing that one out.
No to TERFs and SWERFs. No to ableism. Yes to intersectionality. Yes to solidarity. Yes to authentic allyship. Okay. And the last
I took that photo myself, by the way.
No, yeah, he found that locally. It's hilarious. The last one I'll read. I propose that the people in this group who still believe in free speech in the way our founders intended can adopt a new identity. Amerikaner, a person who adheres to classic Enlightenment thought such as Thomas Paine or Benjamin Franklin without giving consideration to other demographic information. The original liberal before millennial nonsense claimed the identity of the new woke American. I'm an Amerikaner. If you are like this, like the status. So, like, none of this is offensive, in my opinion. Oh, I guess I'll read this one too, because it's kind of interesting.
Oh, no. Let's go through every post in free speech
No,
ever.
no, I'm not going to. It's like that
30-hour stream.
No, I maybe we could do another stream where we read some of this stuff, because I do want to hold on to this group and its posts. I think it was really successful. But,
oh, yeah, by the way, if they actually... So it's under manual review, quote unquote. Oh, I'm fighting myself. It's under manual review. And it's still technically there, even though it's been a few months. It says if you manually review it and we determine that it still has hate speech, we're just deleting the group. They're just wiping it without warning. But
it's kind of frozen it. It's been like a month and a half. I don't know. I might take the risk and archive it, even though we'll never get it again. We'll see. But the last post I'll read is, to the dudes, how would you feel if a female asked to get coffee with you? To the females, have you ever asked out a male before? To the lizard people, what do you want from us?
Like, this is all really basic stuff.
This is so basic stuff, and you know what? I love it. I love it. I've seen, like, intense stuff from our group, and I've seen that kind of stuff, and it all just brought really good conversation. So it is sad to see that Facebook can't handle that, honestly, but it's expected. So that's kind of what happened with our group, because I know a lot of people have been asking, and I haven't been vague about it. I've just kind of been like, I'll talk about it, don't worry. So that's me talking about it. In terms of new Facebook groups, at this time, I do not have a plan to make another Facebook group. I think that we did really well as a group for that year and a half, and I don't really see a reason to keep making groups or anything like that. I know there's some...
You should say why you made the group in the first place. It's only like a sentence. It's funny.
My God. No, but I know people have made some spiritual successors and all that, and, you know, full steam ahead, go ahead. If I do make a group, then I'll invite you all in, and it'll be a nice thing. It'll be good. But for now, I'm sticking to not
successors making... like System Shock to Bioshock? Or...
Sure, yeah. You want me to say why I made that group originally?
Yeah, because it's funny.
Okay.
The reasoning behind your group of like 3,000 people is funny.
Yeah, so there is a local free speech group, and... I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but essentially I didn't really agree with how they treated free speech in their group specifically.
They were cucks.
Sure, yeah, but essentially they were touting free speech, and they were all intense about it, but when it came down to the wire, they were restricting people, and I just wasn't a fan of it. And so I got into an argument with a few of them, and I pretty much said, look, guys, I'll prove to you that free speech thrives and that we can make it happen, and it's important to honor it. And I bet you anything I can make a group bigger than your group, and that it'll be more successful. And so
it was a minds bigger competition.
Yeah. And so I pretty much just want to make group to prove a point and be like, fuck you guys. And I did. And I ended up getting 3,000 people. I don't know what they're sitting at right now. I'm not going to specify what group it is. I think some of you know. But I definitely got more numbers than them. And I think people were happier with my group. So yeah, that's why I made that group. So my goal was accomplished within a few months. Beyond that, it ended up just being a space, like I said earlier, for people to just really communicate with others and meet people that are like-minded. And I do feel like we built a community that will last. So I'm very happy about that. Enough about Facebook. Facebook's retarded. I just can't. But we have moved on to Gab now. And it kind of came at a perfect time because Andrew Torba released Gab groups around the same time that we were kind of juggling with what to do after our speech got shut down. And that was kind of our vision too. Like we wanted to move it to Gab. So, you know, we're happy. Elvis says free speech group was derived from spite. Cool. Exactly. It was 100% spite, and I 100% won. So I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah. No, it was for Gab groups, because I've had a Gab account for a little while, barely used it, but yeah, it was literally within a couple days of Free Speech Group getting the Zuck. I was following Gab on Twitter, and they announced that they are starting groups, and I think it even said it was like similar to Facebook groups, but on Gab. And I was like, all right, well, we're gonna be doing that, but I'm not gonna be telling anybody because I wanted to like get in there right at the second. So I think people are like, what was going on to me, and I think to you as well. And I was just telling people, I'm like, I'm doing something, but I'm not going to say what it is yet. So.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that nobody stole the name or anything because of how easy that would have been at the time. So we were kind of lip sealed on it. We were alluding to a few things. I was alluding to maybe having a stream. You were alluding to maybe making the group somewhere else, and it worked out in the end. So
I was alluding to, if the group doesn't get back up, I'm going to do a live stream of my suicide.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry that we got the Gab group, guys. I know a lot of you are really excited for that, especially because I was going to say top super chat donation on how to kill myself.
If you're not on Gab already, we do have a Gab group now. If you type in Free Speech, which is the same name that we had on Facebook, you'll see us in the top right corner. We're currently at 534 members, and it's only been just over a week. So we're actually doing really well for ourselves, and I'm very happy about it. So
that's on Gab, that has like way less active people than Facebook. Like you can't even compare it.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe like a handful of groups in total. There's obviously a few that are going to exceed ours that are maybe in like the 800s to 1,000, but a majority are either in our range or lower. So we're actually doing quite well for Gab groups.
The thing I noticed that's really cool about Gab as well is that there's no normies there. Like every time I post something on Gab, the responses are always interesting or crazy. Like I never get called racist or anything. I never get any of that. It's all like just insane craziness or really thoughtful, inspiring things. So I think that's one of the reasons why our group's doing so good, is because, yeah, it has a smaller user base, but everyone there is very passionate and very active.
Yeah, or they call me a street shitter, but either way, it's funny.
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
Oh, I love it. No, one of my concerns jumping into Gab, like if I'm being completely honest, was with, you know, a lot of you are from Twitter as well, so you get this. With Twitter, like when you go on there, you can look for a blue check mark and you know for a fact you're going to get some stupid hot take from some like person that used to be a celebrity who's now on Twitter, and they'll be like, oh, everyone's a neo-Nazi and a racist and trans people are the best and blah, 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 like stupid stuff. And you can make fun of it and it's good. And my concern was that Gab wasn't going to attract enough of like the normie base where you could kind of mock them and be like, oh my God, look at this thought, look at this, look at that. But Gab has the other extreme, and I kind of love it too. It's like I made a post talking about how there was some salt towards Andrew Torba because of he was taking down live discussions in responsive groups. So he was going to make groups the main thing. And people are getting so mad at him, saying that he's a Jewish shill because I guess one of their wives is Jewish and all this stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to leave Gab. I didn't know that.
Oh my God. No, Amy Torba, who's lovely. I think she's Jewish. I'm not sure. I don't want to confirm. But I think people are making a bit of a fuss about that. And one of the people running it's also brown. So people were kind of making an issue out of that too. But I made a tweet and they, like 2 out of the 3 people running Gab actually reposted me. And so I was getting all these people getting mad at me, calling a liberal shit street shitter. I can't even fucking talk. Street shitter, like telling me to go back to my own country and all this stuff. It's hilarious. Like, it's just the other extreme. They act like social justice warriors, and they assume because of my skin color that, you know, I don't agree in free speech and all that kind of stuff. So you're still getting all the lol cows, for lack of a better word. Like, you're still getting all that comedy. It's just in a different light, and it's quite good. But yeah, so we are on Gab now. I'd love to have you guys on. I totally understand with the splitting of platforms, it is get kind of a little annoying. And people do get irritated having more than one. But I do think that Gab is doing really well for itself. And I foresee myself migrating to there as much as possible and maybe not using the other one so much. Yeah, and I'm also sorry, go on.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say it's like shitty to juggle social media. Like I constantly have Twitter, Facebook, and Gab open, but I think I forget who it was, but someone that we did convince to go over there said to me that it was like this is a really weird feeling having the freedom to say anything because it's like literally posting there. It's like, oh, I can say whatever I want and I won't be banned.
Exactly.
It's literally a unique feeling. Also, Charisma, you're shilling for Gab. What the fuck is this, Candid?
Oh my god, no. I'm not getting paid by Gab, to make it clear, because maybe people might feel that way. I'm not getting paid by Gab. I just really believe in it. I bought a hat, I bought a shirt, got Jamie a shirt too. We're both on premium, so we're like full in this. We really support the platform. Hopefully they don't let us down, but we're feeling hopeful right now.
Is that in the contract that you have to say that?
No, what the
hell? I'm just making it clear this isn't a Candid situation. What?
It's a Jewish show. No, it's not a Candid situation. It's just something that I'm really passionate about, and I know that I come across as a shill sometimes, but it's because I believe in it, so that's why. And in terms of what Teddy Bearism said, who will I fight along with if you leave Twitter? I'm not leaving Twitter. Don't worry. As long as I don't get suspended or like removed or whatever, like I'm staying on Twitter. It's just I feel like Gab is a really good direction. I want to see it float above all this like leftist bullshit. So I do really want to see Gab exceed, and I'm still going to use both. Gab does give me an option to send all of my Gabs to Twitter, so I can just do it that way. So I won't disappear. It's just that I was kind of splitting my focus between Facebook and Twitter. Twitter always being my main, and then Facebook kind of being my secondary. And now I've kind of dropped Facebook for the most part, and Gab is going to be my like forefront, and Twitter is going to be my secondary. So
Elvis said it really well in the chat. He said the difference is Twitter may be far left and Gab far right, but organization is left for Twitter. Gab could easily accommodate all positions. People on Gab just tend to be the ones rejected. That's the thing, is that, yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about Gab because the Nazis are on there or whatever, but it's like, no, they are on there because they don't get censored on there.
Yeah.
So that's why. So it's, yeah, like, the head of Gab, I can tell you, he has similar values to me. He's not at all, like, you know, a white nationalist or anything. He seems to be a Trump supporter, free speech absolutist. He seems like a wholesome boy. I think Christian, but he's just like, yeah, anyone can come on here. And he said he wants normies. He wants everybody on there, but he wants also anybody on there to say anything.
And that was kind of where I got my hate from too, from some of the user base, because they kind of view Gab as a right-wing fight tool. And I was saying kind of similar to Andrew, where he's trying to get everyone on, and I agree with it. It shouldn't just be one side. Unfortunately, right now, it is kind of one side that's fighting a little bit harder for free speech, but, you know, in general. Oh, get me in, fam. Okay, don't worry. We're going to bring people on. Don't even worry. I was pretty much done talking already. So, yeah, you know what? Let's get you on right now. I'm going to send you the link, okay? One sec.
Oh, this is where it goes all downhill. This is where he can post it just in these terrible places, and all you're going to hear is "Daddy, no" over and over again.
It's okay. Don't do it.
I want it. I want that to happen.
You know what? I think we should host one chaos stream where we just make the link public and see who comes on.
Did you hear fucking Medicare's stream? That was like 6 hours and it was just noise.
Oh my god, no.
Because it was like, he was like, I'm not moderating this at all. And it was just like, it was just Tonka and these guys he was arguing with. Like, it was just noise. It was just complete noise for like hours. It was great.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I sent the link out. So he's gonna... Where did you leave after 15 seconds, Shikaki? What's going on?
Oh, maybe the stream because it's shit. He's just like, I was in here for 15 seconds.
Fuck this stream. Yeah, so I sent out the link to our first person. It is going to be a case of we'll have you guys in for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. We might drop some of you, might bring more people in. Like, it's going to be super casual, so.
You should just cut people off mid-introduction sentence.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Hey everybody, my name is...
Oh my god.
Oh, the Medicare stream, that's what you left. Yeah, no, I listened to it, and I felt exhausted. I only listened to like maybe 3 out of the 6 hours or something, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I could be doing productive things.
Oh
Uh,
man. Yeah.
someone said, "Send me the link, you pleb." I think you're doing it like a one at a time kind
I'm
of thing,
doing it
right?
one at a time, so I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for our first person. So we're just gonna keep chatting to you guys until then. And I have messaged him on Twitter, so
There you go.
use that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna read some of these comments. The head of Gab needs to start being a bit more neutral. There are two founders of Gab. I think one is lefty, one is righty.
There's three, right? I think there's three
There's
people.
a third guy. He's at E. I think he takes care of the tech side of things, so he doesn't seem very vocal on like any of the messaging, but he is kind of behind the scenes making sure that everything functions well. And he's happy to work on it. So that's kind of.
I think Andrew's been pretty good, at least in my opinion. Like he posts his own opinion, but he doesn't ban anybody for theirs. So it's like, I mean, he just wants everybody on it. Like I saw him the other day saying he wants normies on there, and he got a bunch of shit up for that. And he was like, "What? What's wrong with wanting normies on Gab? Of course I want them on. I want everybody on." So,
right.
Yeah.
We'll give him a few more seconds, and then I'll send the link to someone else, and hopefully he can come in afterwards.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's terrible and has kids in his basement or something. But last I checked, his name's But last I checked, his name's Andrew Torba, not John Podesta. So I think he's okay.
Oh man. Sorry, we're having a little trouble with the link here, so we're just gonna wait 1 second and get you in. It seems like the link itself isn't working. We might have to do invite by Gmail account. So.
Oh yeah, the Medicare and short fat otaku chat yesterday. I saw that. What was it? I think Otaku came in saying he was only going to address Ralph, and then was talking to everybody or something.
Oh yeah, we did watch that yesterday. And also I was kind of following the whole thing because Short Fat Otaku, he used to follow me for a bit. And I had no issue with him, but I was kind of pissed off. Like he made that whole stream and didn't like offer an invitation. Which, by the way, he can come on here and talk to me too. But
wait, you're not. You don't have to go eat with your girlfriend or anything right now.
Yeah, no, I don't need to eat with my girlfriend. Like I'm all good.
No, it was just weird. Like I like his videos, but he just handled that all poorly because it's kind of a rule of the internet. If you're talking shit about somebody and they are like, okay, have me on, then you can bring them on. Like, hey, I was talking shit about John Podesta. If you want to come on, Podesta, what's in your closet? Come on.
Oh my
God. I'm gonna
die. 2 shots to the back of the head and it's a suicide? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So where's our guest number 1?
He's just trying to figure it out. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna just use his email because the link wasn't working. So guys, if you
God, what a mess.
Shut up. Guys, if you are planning to come in, maybe just prep your Gmail and send it to me in DM, just so I have that, either on Facebook or Twitter DMs. And I'm going to send this invite now, so let's see how this goes. This is the first time we're doing this, so it should be interesting.
Allie wanted to say cheese pizza. So that's good. Cheese pizza. Yeah, I know what that means.
Oh my god. Okay, so invite sent. We'll see how this goes. Oh god, you know who's in John Podesta's close? Oh, poor Corey Feldman. He didn't do anything wrong. The poor guy.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Gab is pretty great, and with the little time I have been on the site, I've been very impressed, especially with how much Jamie loves big black cock. Anyway, this stream is going well. Thanks, Izzy.
We're both dead men. Yeah, the amount of shit we've said, we're all going to be dead soon. Just a matter of time.
If I ever saw John Podesta in person, I'd go up to him. I'd start challenging him.
Oh my god.
It'd be funny.
I'd be scared for your life. I'd be scared if you were in Britain, honestly. I mean, like...
I'd be in prison, 100%.
Yeah, we can get in the Tommy Robinson thing.
Maybe a guy fucking was murdered in prison. He went to prison because he threw a bacon sandwich at a mosque. Then he goes to prison and gets murdered. I'd be dead by now if I was in the state of the UK. If I was a Brit Bong citizen.
Oh my... yeah, with the whole Tommy Robinson thing, just him like standing outside the courthouse and now he's in jail. Like, it's so messed up.
Don't get me started on that.
No, we can get started on that. We're waiting anyway, so let's talk about it. We're planning to.
Yeah, UK. It's is it illegal to say you should literally stand up to your government? Is that illegal? Like physically?
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't
Because
know.
the UK's at the point now where it's like, they're stopping you from saying that a man shouldn't be thrown in prison for standing outside of a court with a camera running for a year, and the judge literally said, "I don't care if you die in prison." It's no. I just if I was in the UK, I'd probably be dead. Honestly, there's no way. I would be. I don't know if you saw any of that footage of them protesting, but there was a guy literally trying to climb over the gate and failing. I'd be that guy. I wouldn't get as far as he did. Let's see here. Tommy can convert to Islam, but okay, yeah, he could, but he's not going to do that. There's no way. I wouldn't do that. If they say convert to Islam or we kill you, I'd be dead. Throwing Tommy in jail and not putting him in solitary is without a doubt knowing a death sentence. Yeah, I actually did see one tweet that said we can't confirm how we know this, but we can assure you Tommy is currently safe, which makes me sound like he's either in solitary or he's in a wing that doesn't have Muslims, but
I don't think they're going to put him in solitary. I think they don't care. They want him out. They want him dead.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of the standard cops and everything, or the standard police force, will agree with him. So if they have any pull, they might be like whispering to him and being like, "Yo, I'm sorry this is happening, but we're gonna make sure you're safe," kind of thing. Hopefully, because wasn't the last time he was in prison? Wasn't it a prison guard that said, "These guys are gonna try to kill you. You need to go fight them first"? I think that's what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of stuff in prison. Like, there was the guy that did some, what is it, like the sugar and hot water thing to him. And, like, he's been stabbed and got his teeth knocked out, so his teeth aren't his real teeth anymore. Like, it's so messed up. And, like, yeah, there was, I think you were mentioning, like, the cop that tipped him off on it.
Yeah, Teddy Bear says there was a lady arrested for telling someone to have a gay day. I saw that. I'm not sure if it's the same woman, but I saw a woman answering her door, and the cops wanted to arrest her, and she was really hesitant about opening the door. And as soon as they did, it was like a 50-plus-year-old woman, and they just take her in and grabbing at her for no reason. Ugh. Where's our guest?
Just trying to get some technical difficulty.
Oh no.
Yeah, it seems to be redirecting him to a page where he has to learn about what Hangouts are, but it's not letting him join the call.
I think you just have to click accept. That's what I did.
I think that's what you.
Because I'm not hosting the stream. I'm technically a guest. So Charisma sent me the link, and then it was like, here's that, click accept, and I was in.
It's saying click to join the video call, but I don't know if that's working. What I am going to do is just extend an invite to another person for now while he's trying to figure that out, and then we'll definitely get him into... So let's get Mike on here because he's been waiting for a bit here. One sec.
I have a short attention span. Jamie, he was talking to the cops about Muslims illegally praying in the park. Who? Tommy? Because I know the actual reason he was arrested was he was covering a ongoing Muslim grooming gang rape case, because they ran by his camera into the courtroom before and they were threatening him, and then he was just walking around and the cops showed up and took him in.
It's like,
so it wasn't a praying thing with Tommy. The lady said have a gay day to the Muslims. You fat? How do you know I'm fat? I'm not even on camera. The lady was saying have a gay day to the Muslims. I'm kind of unaware on this one, honestly. Oh man, no. Oh god. Clarify when you're on the stream.
Yeah, clarify this info. Oh my god.
Right. At you, what if the guy trying to get on the stream just has downs and he doesn't understand? Izzy, that's possible. But we accept everyone, downies and all.
Well, I've extended the link to a second person, so now this will be the moment of truth.
I'm willing to come on and speak of what I know about Islam. I'm a recent convert. Deus Volt is what I say to that.
Oh, he's going to be on later. Don't worry. I've got some words.
Oh, really? It was that...
Why did that go off on that speaker? That was
weird. No. So yeah, I'm not at my computer right now, so I can't help her at all. I'm literally in the living room.
No, I didn't do it's fine, dude. It's just more like...
Oh yeah. Oh well, here we go. Hey, Elvis, I'm playing Symphony of the Night right now. Where do I get the mist again? I need the mist ability to get through this part. Let's see. The 50-year-old lady that got arrested. She was talking to the cops, and they arrested her the next day. She didn't say "Have a gay day." Okay, who's the gay day lady then?
Yeah, who's the gay day?
Teddy Bearism said that was the same woman. So okay, there's some issue there. I don't know. Okay, so that happened, and then there was potentially another woman, and/or the same woman that said "Have a gay day" to somebody, and she got arrested for saying that. Let's see here. Yeah, Izzy, you can share her stream on your Facebook. Go for it. But yeah, let's see here.
Why is it linking people to this? This is stupid.
We tested this before as well.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked for me, at least. So it's not working for your second guest either?
Yeah, it's just linking them to how to get started, but it's supposed to be the link that freaking gets them in.
Oh my god. I never use Google Hangouts, but from what I gathered, you can either invite them in by typing in their email and they get a link, or you can bring them in with the upper right corner.
So, because I was able to bring you in on email. So stupid.
Oh, that's what you did, was the email. Google is being gay. Google knows what we're talking about. John Podesta contacted them, said I was talking about him.
It's so funny. Okay, there we go. I think this is...
Oh, thanks, Elvis. It's in the Misty Tower area. You don't need the mist. Go to the room above the grate and destroy the wall on the left and stand in that wall and hold it up for 10 seconds. Magic teleport. Thank you.
Oh,
that's good. Who wants to listen to me play Symphony of the Night?
Me.
Yeah, it was funny. I was yelling about midgets before we were on stream. Like, she was trying to get me set up and everything and saying, oh, here's what we're going to talk about. And I'm like, these fucking midgets! I just kept yelling.
And he wasn't yelling about me. That's a first.
Oh, yeah. Just every day I see you, I'm like...
Izzy, why did you put your... You should have just messaged me privately. What are you doing?
Link it to me and I can try, he says.
Yeah, I'm going to link it to him.
You date a midget. Yeah, I know. Well, I played WoW, so I consider it more gnome.
Izzy, I'm going to send you the Hangout link first. You tell me if that works. I'm doing it on Facebook.
He wants to get spam.
If not, then I'll do the invite.
Yeah, sorry guys. We've never done this, and I'm literally of no help.
No, it's okay. It's more like Google's end because like it was fine inviting you in, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't get.
Oh, there we
go.
Hey, how's it going?
Izzy, do you want to tell people how you got in so the rest of them know what to do?
All right. Go back in time. Make sure your parents don't drop you.
I think you're on camera as well.
Yeah, I know. Notification, you are not in yet, but make sure you press the join button as well. It's not just looking at the call to chat. You have to actually accept it. Izzy, like I said, if you want to give an actual description on how the fuck to get in here.
Okay, so I accepted the terms of service, and then I clicked enter chat room, and that's it. Literally.
So where are the terms and conditions? I mean, it didn't come up for me because I'm already in it. So
it just popped up like right in my face.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on.
If we get a Muslim in, I don't even know if I can talk shit because of M103, so.
I'm a Muslim, talk shit to me, do it.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna go to prison.
Oh, no.
It's M103, right?
Izzy, since you're here, is there anything you want to discuss? Anything free speech related or otherwise?
Or you can shill yourself.
No, not really. I'm just here. I like seeing my little dude. How do I change my picture? I'll be back.
Okay. That sounds good.
I love it. Well, at least we got somebody in. We know somebody's... I did invite you. What do you mean?
Someone says I'm here. Someone says invite me.
I did. One
terms
second. Oh
DOC, don't be a Jew. Downs confirmed. Accept it into your heart. Don't let your moon dreams be dreams, Izzy. Oh, I think I'm on Hobbit because I want to get spam. You date a midget. That looks like a vagina. Oh, it's the Jewish bracket. The stream is making me wish Hillary won. It's not that. I mean, I don't think anything's that bad.
Why aren't I 50 points ahead? Oh
All right, I have to rejoin so my picture changes. I'll be back.
my god. Okay, fine.
All right, yeah. Well, Izzy could do it.
Yeah, Izzy got in. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, well, I guess he's got the link, so he can just join it.
Izzy did it, and I did it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules, how's it going? And Izzy got backing. He joined twice.
Fuck, it didn't fucking change. What the hell's this bullshit?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I sent the invite again, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna send the link as well, just so both of these. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Next time I might do this on Discord. It seems like it's easier that way. And I have more control.
Here, while we wait, let me read out one of my favorite posts in the Gab group so you can see the difference between... oh, someone joined. Well, it says I joined the call, and I see his face there.
What? Why can't I see him in the call?
Oh my god. Are we boomers? Like, what the fuck? Why can't we get this to work?
No, I have no control from this end. All I can do is give you the fucking link. That's it.
Yeah, I saw
I can only
someone
invite
say...
people. I can't, like, force people in here.
Well, I'm a guest. I can't do shit.
I did it. I'm smart. You guys are stupid.
Thank you, Izzy. Yeah.
Thanks, Izzy. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, one of my favorite comments in the Gab group that you can compare to how strict Facebook is I saw a post in our free speech Gab group that said, it redirects me to Get Started. Maybe you have to go through the Get Started stuff, and then you can join it. Yeah, one of my favorite posts was something like, here is statistics to prove that South African niggers are clinically retarded. It's pretty great.
Jules, are you planning to come in? Because if you are, I can send you a link in a little bit here.
We can't even stream properly. How are we expected to win the race war? Well, at least we have the ability to stream. Like, a lot of them can't even stream.
Yeah.
Only we can see the chat, right, Jamie?
Yeah, only we can see the chat.
I'm on a phone. I can't even see the chat.
Jamie can't even see it because he's yeah.
Hey, I have to be on your phone.
Oh, the Hangouts chat, I mean.
Yeah, I don't even know where to see that.
The little group chat? No, it's only us. I can see it. Alright, I said the hi. It's only us. I can see it. You hear a dying seal. Huh. I was trying to hide that, but I guess that's out now.
Let's see. I hear a dying seal. Lol, sure. What's your Google? We can't even stream properly. Everybody do the computer. Discord rocks. Yes. Shut up. I'm sick. Damn. Cute boyfriend. Hello. Because things are not ready. Weird. Invite me, you pleb. I can come in, but things might get a little weird. Invite me. I'm here. TOC. Don't be a Jew. We need more chat that I can read. Okay, here we go. Y'all are gay. Somebody laughs like a dying seal. From, with an asterisk. I have to go to work in 30 minutes. If you can let me in and chat, that'd be good.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll give you the link, because clearly this... Yeah, okay, 1 second. Everyone's gonna pop in at once. I foresee this. It's just like this like elaborate prank where everyone's like fucking with me.
Like, I barely understand how to do this, but I'm here.
Yeah. Let me find that email 1 second. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna invite the guy that thinks Islam deserves to take over the West.
Oh, good.
This should go very well. I've yelled at this person a lot of times on Facebook. Enjoy.
All right. Yeah, how's it going?
I think Charisma's scared of me. Why? Why would I be scared of you? You're a teddy bear. Oh,
let's see. Okay. Y'all are gay. I have to go to... Okay, read that. Theron Meyer is a trans bot? Like she's a robot trans? Oh. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, it's Izzy again.
God.
I disconnected. I'm trying to change this fucking picture. It won't accept my shit.
Oh, don't worry about the photo. Izzy, what games are you playing lately? Talk about that.
Lately, I've just honestly been jerking off a lot because I've been tired from work. So
Oh,
I just, come. Oh, the picture did change. Sweet.
No, it didn't. It's the same shit.
Oh, it changed on the YouTube thing. Every time I talk, I'm some big-breasted anime chick.
Oh my god. Maybe I'm just not seeing it.
You're welcome, everybody.
Okay, so now I have 3 people pending that are trying to figure this out.
If they're pending, does that mean you have to
No.
bring them in?
I can't see anything. I'm just saying I'm using the word pending, but I've sent out these invites to people.
Izzy, what kind of porn have you been jerking off to?
Let's see. What did I do last night? I don't fucking remember. I was tired as fuck.
Wait, before we continue,
all right.
Okay, Black Trident, you missed a big opportunity to say buy my book. I'm sorry. You said shill my book, damn it. Buy my book.
Nice. No, Ryan slept over and he snores so fucking loud, and I'm pretty sure he has sleep apnea, so I didn't fucking sleep at all.
So you were just jerking off while you listened to your friend sleep?
No. So then yesterday I was tired as fuck, so then I don't even remember what porn I watched. Some sort of fucking machine dildo shit.
Oh, I know when you kind of want to jerk off, but you're so tired, you're like, whatever. It's just visual. Just show me something.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
What? Okay.
I'm gonna read more of the chat.
When you click the link, it should give you this thing that's like, are you guys logged into Gmail? Like, that might be it. I don't know.
I technically have brain damage, and I figured this out.
It keeps going into the Hangout EXP page.
I invited you guys too by email, so I don't see why I would do that. I'm logged on. Okay, Jules, if you want to DM me on Facebook and send me your email, then I'll invite you in, because if you are logged in, like, my browser's logged into my Gmail, and I think that's why it's fine. So maybe that's the case. I'm pretty sure Izzy's got his Gmail always logged in too.
Yeah, I do. Mine's always on.
Yeah, so maybe guys just make sure that your actual browser is logged into your Gmail. That could be the issue.
Where'd I leave off in the chat? Okay, I left off on y'all are gay. Trendbop. Hi, babe. Invite me again. Hey, Allie. I think Charisma is scared of me. Hello, Alexandra. Oh, I never hear her called Alexandra. I like the way Alexandra sounds. Heart hi. Be sure to click live chat and not top chat. It will auto filter things out. Give him some bacon. Ooh, and pork rinds. Sent. Anime avatar? Is that Izzy? Waifu avatar. Hey guys, show my book, damn it. I see the big breasted one too. Finally, a reason to watch the stream. Thanks, big titty anime guy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Winky face. Is it a lineup of retard? It's a lineup of the retarded in waiting. Tentacle porn? Question mark. It keeps going into the Hangout EXP page. I'm logged on. Oh, gross! It's Black Trident. I hear he eats babies. Oh, is that why you converted? Can confirm. Apparently, I'm allowed to join. Best with some barbecue sauce. Right, that's it. How do we not even have a guest yet? I read the entire chat.
Well, I'm a guest. What is this?
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about porn. What was the last porn I watched, actually?
Yeah, come on. What is this?
I think it was, yeah, I remember. It was this girl that had, like, a bunch of tattoos, and she was riding this girl's face.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the cameraman just jumped in. So all of a sudden you see his hand in front of the camera and all that. So it was all right.
You guys want to have a good time? Go on Pornhub and search Cock Hero. It's a great game.
You keep shilling that.
Oh, we got someone. We've got someone in.
Really? I doubt it.
No, I see a face. I see a face.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Really?
Hello.
We have someone. Okay, we can end the stream. It was a success. Hi.
How's everyone?
Oh, I hear some audio in the background. Is that the stream being played back to us?
Yeah, I had to pause. I had to mute my stream so I could talk.
We're good?
Oh my God, EJ, why would you tell me that? Just a heads up, the entire office is listening. That man has a bomb. Run.
Oh my God, that's great. So are we in? Are we good? Technical difficulties dead yet? No?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm in.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it's nice to finally talk to you on stream because I never interacted on Twitter, so it's really cool. I've been following you for quite a while, actually. So
yeah, same for you.
Yeah,
it's really good to finally speak to you as well.
Yeah. If you have anything you want to bring up with us, feel free. It's pretty much just going to be a casual stream, so we're just talking about whatever people like to talk about.
Okay. Cool.
You should do an introduction, by the way.
Oh yeah, feel free to introduce yourself, your tag on Twitter, where to find you, that kind of stuff, and then you can go to whatever topic you like.
Well, this is awkward, but I'm Smabso on that's with a Z, ZMASBO on Twitter. I just tweet about random shit, but
I mean that's the way to go, right? That's me too.
Yeah, but either way, like, it's good to be here.
We're glad to have you. What porn do you watch?
Oh shit! I'm here.
Hi.
Well, it took a fucking while. Jesus Christ! Fuck Firefox.
What kind of porn do you watch?
Oh my god. Okay.
I was talking about it.
Michael, hold off for 1 second. We're gonna intro, and then we'll bring you into a chat too here.
If you don't know what to talk about, I'm just gonna ask you what porn you watch now.
No, how about everyone that intros has to say what porn they like?
Oh, I like it.
I'm not gonna answer that question. Yeah, but I was interested because you were talking about how you used to be a professor and stuff like that. Let me know if I'm speaking out of line, and that some feminists were being pretty shitty to you. So I'm interested to hear about that, if you had anything to give us input on.
No, I was never a professor.
Oh, okay.
No. I think you misunderstood me that I was kind of like I basically did the social media, the website, and everything else for a research institute, and I basically got a shitload of rabid feminists set on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was ridiculous, to be honest. Like, I basically tweeted out one thing, and it was like tantamount to, it was against what they were saying, and then all of a sudden, I had literally the full force of every single feminist in the fucking world upon me, trying to get me out of my job, and they didn't succeed in getting me out of getting out of the job that I was in. But at the same time, they made it quite impossible for me to go any further than what my contract was. So, in a sense, they did actually win, which is annoying. But at the same time, I still persisted and carried on without them.
Yeah, it's bullshit how they just try to like they feel like they can bring anything they want in the workplace and all that kind of stuff. But the second you have different views, like you just get dogpiled by that. It's irritating.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, go.
That's what happened. Basically, it was impossible for me to stop it. It was just they went straight to the student union where they had contacts. They had people who were sympathetic to obviously feminist stuff anyway to begin with, and obviously I am anti-feminist in the sense of I'm against the whole social justice view on feminism, but at the same time, I fully support women and their being independent or stuff. But what I mean is it's hard for me to actually fight back against something like that.
Especially where you are located. I know I won't say, but I just know that there's a lot of issues going on in certain countries, and you're in one of them. So
it is, and I have to go anonymous now to actually speak out into any kind of impact. Do you know what I mean? Anything that I say now is basically measured against me as an individual, instead of actually I've got something of worth to say. I've got an opinion, and no one ever considers that now. It's basically, it's always viewed in the light of, hang on, what job does this guy have? What position is he in? Do you know what I mean? It's never actually, what is it? What am I saying? Do you know what I mean? What is the value of what I'm saying? It's always viewed in the light of, actually, we can take this guy down based on what he's like. We can identify where he works. We can destroy him in that way, and that's what really depresses me, because it's the end of discourse. It's the end of any kind of genuinely progressive, because that's something that annoys me. But
He's not
Sorry.
laughing at you, Dory.
No.
Yeah.
Just Izzy, I see in the corner. My friend has a Charizard dancing. Like, ugh. Keep going. I'm sorry, man.
No, I really do feel for you. You know, without going into too much detail, I'll just say that you're not the only one here that has to have dealt with this kind of stuff. So I definitely get it. And it's really awful. And I do miss the days before internet being blown up, where you could just speak your mind and not worry about your job being threatened. Like, of course, with the tools that we have now with Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, Gab, we are able to speak out, and it's awesome to have this reach, even with YouTube right now. Like, I'm speaking to people across the world right now. But unfortunately, the drawback is we have our face out there, and people will just take our face and go find our job and tell people that we're Nazis and all this shit and try to get us fired, you know. And in reality, like, you know, like I said, I've followed you for a while. I've never seen you say anything hateful. I've always seen you as a super supportive person and very kind and hilarious. So I would never think any of those things of you. And it's really depressing to hear that people are trying to pin that on you, right? So I'm really sorry about that.
The problem is these people are all about no bad tactics, right? So what they'll do is, if they can't argue based on ideas, if they can't argue with their words, they just want to silence you. And they'll do that by any means necessary. I think there's an actual group called BAM, by any means necessary, right? So they will find your family and they'll smear your character. They'll find your friends. They'll find your work and they'll try to get you fired. They'll make up lies about you. They'll do anything, fucking anything, to make sure that you can't speak your mind, because you speaking your mind is what is damaging to them. So I'm really sorry you had to deal with all this shit. But
I had it 3 times. I used to work for university, and that was my big mistake, because I was exposed then, because on a university website, they will list the staff members, no matter what they are. Like, you could be friggin' like general admin, and you will still be on the website and stuff. But
yeah,
like, I was doing like the social media, the web design for a research institute, and basically I was still tweeting as I am now, but under my real name and with my picture and everything. So they basically honed in on me once I made a big tweet, which riled them up, and all of a sudden I had shitloads of feminists from all across the world, in particular Australia, for some reason, which I found hilarious, because I'm in the UK, and they were like coming down on me from Australia with all kinds of shit. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was insane. But what can you do against that? Do you know what I mean? If you are an employer, like, what do you decide is important? Do you say, oh, this one employee, or do you say, you know, all this PR damage? And this is what I mean.
That's the thing, though. It's not even damage. What jobs need to understand is that the tide is turning, and if you actually tell these people, go fuck yourselves, we're going to stand by our employees, you fucking cunts, then you actually get better PR. I mean, it's literally by the numbers. You can see this. If you look at video games, you look at Kingdom Come Deliverance, and he just told all the feminists, you know, go fuck yourselves. I'm making the game I want to make. We have an actual historian working on the game. And then I saw the stats on Steam. It was outselling the Assassin's Creed, which was a bit cuckish. It did better than Subnautica, which fired an employee because he was anti-social justice. And he was very tame as well. Very well spoken, very tame. It was doing better than all these games that kissed the ring of social justice and bent the knee and all that. Absolutely. So, yeah, I just like sending that to people. I like sending that to employers, and it's like, look who your audience actually is, right? These loud, ugly fat feminists that are on Tumblr getting mad for the sake of getting mad are not your audience. Stand by your employees and all that. Like, yeah, they just need that new way of thinking. They got to stop being afraid.
It was the same thing with what was it recently? Beachbody Ready. Do you remember that?
The
protein,
advertisement.
yeah.
It's exactly the same response. Like they always pander to the loud minority, and I think there's a lot to be said for actually just saying "fuck you." Like you can say that and you can do that, and I think it's a lot more valuable in a marketing sense, even though it's counterintuitive to every school of thought. I think they need to realize that the tide has changed. You can't be pandering to the safe option anymore. Like you can easily say "fuck you" to like a loud minority and still win on a marketing point of view.
Yeah, you'll actually get a boost. Like if you look at the recent case of, I think the game's called Wormhole Wars. They were doing a demo at like a PAX or something like that, some kind of game convention, and this feminist went up, played the game, and apparently got teabagged. And she started doing this whole, "Oh my god, I got teabagged, I got harassed, this is patriarchy," all this stuff. And then she tried to go after the game, and the game was pretty much like, "Lol, no one from here did it, we don't fucking care." And then like in a few days, they announced that in the game, there's a teabag mode where the only way that kills count is if you go kill your enemy and then teabag them after. As a direct fuck you to her. And it's just like, I'm buying that game. Day one. So it's a bunch of people. So yeah, it's literally the reverse. Companies should see getting attacked by feminists as a gold mine. Oh, the ugly feminists are attacking me. They should be rubbing their hands together and it's like, good. Tell them to go fuck themselves and we'll get a boost in sales.
Absolutely. You're absolutely fucking right there. It really frustrates me as well that so many people pander to these people as well, because does anyone actually think the way they do? No one. No. It's always a very small minority of neurotic, insane people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's also a problem that, like, especially in the entertainment industry, that's very appealing to left wing people. So a large majority, even though they're the minority, all these entertainment companies and everything, they usually will have a bunch of feminists. The HR manager will be a feminist or something like that. And then so there might be people in the company that know that this is a mistake to pander to them, but then their higher ups, their bosses and everything, they'll be going, "Yes, beautiful. Oh, we need more disabled black women in our game or in our movie." And it's like, so that's another problem as well. So if you see someone pandering and everything, it might be because they have the same views. And so they're just trying to further their clique even further. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's definitely enraging. I know our Islam apologist has to leave pretty quickly, so I do want to bring him on
Thank you.
before he has to go. But thank you so much for talking to us. I really loved hearing from you, and I would love to go on stream again with you if you're ever free. So definitely keep in touch.
Wait, what's your favorite porn?
Oh my god.
Also, I wanted to say before you go, if you have anything to shill, if you have a Twitter or a YouTube or anything, like, I don't know if you do, because you were saying you had to go anonymous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Well, let's remind people quickly you're at.
well, I mean, you guys already know we are. Well, I'm formerly friends with Charisma on Facebook. She unfriended me, right? So
I did? What?
yeah.
I was asking the guy that was heading out, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No, it's all
okay.
good.
I thought you were talking about the guy. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, no, I unfriended you.
Okay, did the other guy leave already? Is he?
No, he's still here.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, if you just want to quickly say your at one last time so people can follow you. Or not, I guess.
No, it's all good. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
we'll talk again soon. Take care. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
There we go.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good. About to go pretty soon, but yeah, I'm willing to chat. Yeah. So, as for the state of Islam, I mean, the idea is, I mean, it is pretty messed up. I will admit to that. But however, Islam is salvageable compared to many of the other Western religions.
Okay, how so?
One of the reasons why it drove me to Islam was because of the decadence within the Western culture. And and for Muslims, they are extremely unapologetic about what kind of values they should accept and what kind of values they should reject.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, it's for I mean, I've been around with a lot of Muslims from various different countries. I think, from my own personal experience, they're actually a lot more civil when you disagree with them and discuss problems. They're more civil than liberals. Honestly.
Okay. So you're saying the reason you joined Islam was because you didn't like feminists anymore?
Well, among other things. I mean, because in order for a culture, to thrive, it has to have a good religious basis. And there's green sprouts in Islam, but it's dead everywhere else. I mean, I come from a Christian background, but there is no hope in Christianity.
Oof, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can
the Muslim apologist turn up the volume?
Yeah, you're pretty quiet, honestly, dude. I'm hearing you, but it is.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone, so I don't know how.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Anyway, you don't have much time, so keep going.
Well, I mean, actually, so again, one of the tenets of Islam, right? The Prophet tells us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that to be a good Muslim, you never hurt others with your tongue, and you never hurt others with your hands.
I'd be curious what your thoughts on Aisha are then.
On what?
On his wife, that he wed her when she was 6 and took her to bed when she was 9.
But honestly, there are various different hadiths, that a lot of times this was never brought up until recently. But I personally myself, I don't know much about that particular hadith. From within. I
mean, Aisha was his favorite wife. Like he spoke about her constantly.
Different Molanas. There is actually a lot of intellectual diversity among the Islamic scholars, and they discuss whether certain hadiths might be true or some others might be fabricated. And there's a lot of various different debates and discussions.
Right, because Muhammad was the greatest liar. He was the greatest at deception, which is a point of pride for Islam.
Well, I mean, deception is taqiyya. Taqiyya. You can't deception is doable if you do it with good reason. For example, if your wife is not beautiful, but taqiyya says you have to tell her that she is beautiful, right? That's still deception, but it's deception for a good reason, right?
Right. It's white lies, but it's also to further Islam.
Well, I mean, again, you can also suppose you're supposed to settle a difference between family and friends. Maybe sometimes lying might be good to end the conflict.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens when they say Allah is the greatest deceiver. And then Christianity points out that Satan is the greatest deceiver. So I just find that an interesting coincidence.
Well, Shaitan is the greatest, even within, because in the Quran it quotes both the Torah and the Gospel left and right.
Okay.
Well, I mean.
So I mean, it sounds like your main reasoning.
I mean,
sorry, go on.
I mean, look, there are a lot of times it is messed up. I mean, there are certain things within the Ummah that I myself might not agree with. Right, but there is a lot of intellectual diversity within the religion. You get what I'm saying?
Is there anything you dislike? Do you think Muhammad is perfect, the Prophet?
I mean, he certainly is respectable. Yes.
Respectable, but is he perfect?
Yes.
Is he a perfect? Okay, so you think it's perfect that he fucked a 9-year-old? Do you think it's perfect that he kills dogs? Do you think it's perfect that he's slayed, what was it? I think 600 people in a day. That's all good things.
Within the context of what he does. I mean,
within the context, it's okay to fuck a 9-year-old. Fuck's sakes.
The Islamic see, there's another thing, right? With modern liberal Democrats and how Muslims, we actually operate on very different sets of morality.
Oh, I don't know. I see a lot of liberal Democrats that like to fuck kids as well. So that's totally why I get why Islam and Democrats are compatible.
Well, as for child molest is not part of the tenets of Islam, but it typically happens.
Well, you can get around the rule though. Like for example, gay sex is illegal in Islam. However, it says specifically men. Therefore, this is why there is harems full of little boys, because boys are not men, so they're allowed to fuck little boys.
Find loopholes in the sacred text, which means that the culture that have already existed, has already been decaying. Meaning, the people who put those things into practice are the ones that were decadent. Muslims are not perfect.
But Muhammad is.
Yes.
Even though he fucked a 9-year-old, killed like 600 people in a day, he did speeches that were covered in cum stains that Aisha would clean off with her fingernails. He would kill dogs because he, like, all that's perfect.
Has been an extremely recent thing, and honestly,
What do you mean it's recent? They literally say her age. They say wed when he was 6.
Been brought up. I mean, there are so many numerous hadiths that's been debated between the Islamic scholars.
It's been a point of debate whether or not she was 6 to 9 years old, or it's been a debate whether or not it's okay that he had sex with a 9-year-old.
I mean,
what are they debating?
Myself, I don't know enough about this issue to answer. I mean,
this is your prophet we're talking about.
This has not been brought up.
I can send you a bunch of stuff that talks about this.
Because a lot of what Muslims, when we go into the masjid, when we discuss and the imam give the khutbah, it's all about how should we act as a collective, as a community. What is ethical and how should we behave? I mean, honest people and most civil people that I have ever come across. That's
why if a woman's hijab blows off in the wind, she just accepts death, gets on her knees, and takes a gunshot to the head. Because she's not allowed.
Depends on the Sharia of the country it is, and a lot of times, some of those countries are corrupt and are decadent.
Well, this is the problem: is Muhammad in his whole life, because the rule of Islam is that you have to follow Muhammad's life to a perfect T. But Muhammad himself has contradicted his rules in his life, so it's impossible to follow Muhammad's life to a T.
He certainly modifies the rules, to suit his community. The guy is very practical. Allah gives him a different message. But so what? But God can do whatever he wants. I mean,
right. I'm not talking about God here. I'm talking about Muhammad. Like, dude, I don't hate you or anything. Like, you seem like a really well-spoken guy. The only Muslim that I have a problem with is Muhammad. And he says that pretty much, it says in the book.
But if you read the hadiths, about his actions, I mean, the guy is very down-to-earth, very humble and respectable. The way
so much so that when he tried to convert Jews by just saying convert, and they said no, he came back and slaughtered them all. Like, that doesn't sound like a humble man to me.
I mean, if I knew the history, if I knew the story correctly, it's because it was during the time of war. They were in the
but I mean, like, just compare the two prophets. Compare Christ to Muhammad, and Christ was literally a man of peace, never killed anybody. Like, the worst thing they have on Christ is that he may have fucked a hooker. You compare that to Muhammad. I mean, if I'm shopping for religions here, dude, I think I'm gonna bet on Christ.
Dude, you're comparing Isa, peace and blessing be upon him, right? And Muhammad, they come from very different periods in history. And
the thing is, Muhammad actually came later than all the other religions, so he was actually able to see what the other religions did and then make his own. That was the whole thing.
They have very different. They grew up in very different environments. I mean, Jesus, peace and blessing be upon him. He grew up in the corrupt and decadent Roman Empire, whereas Muhammad is, peace and blessing be upon him, is in the clannish, tribalistic Arabian Peninsula. The environments are extremely different for what I mean.
Muhammad, and he was murdered, and he let himself be sacrificed because he was actually a man of peace. Like, he didn't fight back or anything. He accepted being crucified for our sins. Then again, I'm not even super religious. I'm just saying, if you're shopping for religions, I don't see why somebody is claiming,
from the
Muhammad was a
Islamic
reasonable man. Like, if I'm shopping for religions, I think I'm going to go for something else.
Relative to the context, okay, of his own situation, he actually made a lot of practical and wise decisions. From the Islamic perspective, Isa is still alive. Jesus is still alive. He was never crucified. So it depends. Well, I mean, you want to argue the details of religion. I mean, that's
the only thing I'm arguing in details
difference.
of religion is which one is actually the religion of peace, and like if we're actually going on its tenets and if we're going on its prophets, then by far, like the Quran has more hatred for Jews in it than fucking Mein Kampf does. And no offense to Hitler, but it's like it's literally more hateful to that group of people. But like Islam itself is more about what your enemies are about than yourself. It's not about bettering yourself. It's more so about your enemies.
Well, I mean, it's about the context. Okay, was directed toward the Jews of Medina who betrayed Muhammad in an alliance. Okay, so it's very different. You have to, because the Quran, it's not revealed in a chronological order.
Yeah, they betrayed because they wouldn't convert to his religion.
It's a different. It's we will stand up for you, right? But in the end, they sided with the pagans, with the mushrikuns, the idolaters, to fight against the Muslims.
Well, Jews are going to Jew. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, that's the same thing. Jesus was killed pretty much by Jews, and instead he's like, I accept this, guys. I'm doing this so that you can be forgiven for your sins. Instead of fucking beheading them all. Are you kidding me?
One of the prophet's closest companions was a former Jewish rabbi. I mean, it's not about, that he has some kind of a racial prejudice against Jewish people. That's completely false. One of his closest companions was a former Jewish rabbi.
Practice, all I see is Muslims like constantly hating Jewish people, committing acts of violence against Jewish people. And I'm not even like a Jew shill or anything, by the way. They actually commit violence against everybody. But it's very specifically, it's like everyone's bad, but the Jews are the worst of the worst. So
that's because of Israel. Before Israel, Jews are tolerated in Muslim countries.
Right, when they would take them all over, right? Like, and then as long as they followed Sharia law and paid the jizya.
Jews have always been a minority, and they were tolerated. They were tolerated before Israel. Okay, I mean, Christians and Jews are allowed to live in Muslim society. They just have to live in complete poverty. I mean, because
that's okay.
They're allowed to be there. They just have to be dirt poor.
No, that what they have to do is they have to pay. In the most tolerant Muslim societies, what they have to do is they have to pay the jizya tax, I believe it's called. Yeah. And even then, they have to pay a tax just for following their religion, and they have to like get on their knees and hand it over to them, and they can get slapped at the same time. And that's the best scenario. There's other scenarios. There's other forms of Sharia law, because as you said, there is different forms of Sharia law where they just don't tolerate them and they just kill them. So best case scenario, they have to fucking shame themselves and get on their knees and pay a tax. That sounds great. What a great religion.
There's nothing in the Quran about getting on their knees and humiliating them, because remember, one of our major tenets is never hurt others with our hands and never hurt others with our tongue. I mean,
yeah, no, they say that, but this is the thing, is that Islam is a religion of peace. Yes, that's true. But is also a religion of violence. That is also true.
Yeah.
And it is because Muhammad did stuff in his life that contradicts his own rules. And most Muslims...
He modified them when the situation was convenient, but so what? I mean, he was...
Yeah, pretty much Islam is like, if you go to a sink, right, and you have a tap for hot and you have a tap for cold, you turn them both on, it's hot and cold at the same time. It's a religion of peace and also a religion of violence. And they say themselves, if the rules contradict themselves, you take the later one. What this does is it makes it so it's impossible to follow Muhammad's life because he contradicts his own life. And what does that mean? Oh, don't worry what you did as a Muslim if you broke some of the rules. As long as you commit jihad by the sword or the pen at the end of your life, then you're going to get in. Then you got the golden ticket. So as long as you're progressing Islam near the end of your life, either by sword or by pen, you're in. It is literally saying your whole life, you just have to commit jihad. I mean,
but there's a lot of personal accountability. Remember, when Muslims pray, right, they look by ending the prayer, they look to the right and look to the left. Why do they do that? Because Muslims believe, okay, there's an angel.
Are they afraid that the guy next to them has a bomb strapped to their chest, maybe?
Yo, dude, come on, man. Let me come on to have a serious discussion, or are you just going to troll me?
What do you mean? I'm serious. That'd be a concern of mine if I was Muslim.
Well, Muslims...
The number one killer of Muslims are other Muslims because they can't agree on shit. They can't agree on fucking anything. So the number one people that like different sects of Islam kills others.
There's a lot of intellectual diversity within Islam, and I agree is fucked up. That is absolutely true. I don't deny that. But it is salvageable. The religion is salvageable compared to a lot of other religions, such as Western Christianity.
Well, I mean, you'll see a lot of Christians right now, or actually, sorry, rather a lot of Catholics right now, and Christians, because Christianity and Catholicism kind of has that weird link where they kind of intersect. But a lot of people aren't fans of the Pope right now. So I think, if anything, if you want to talk about being salvageable, I think those religions are more salvageable because they are more about just inner searching. It's about what the sins you commit. So as long as you follow your own rules and don't harm anybody, I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with Muslims that don't harm anybody. But the problem is, literally the end game is to commit jihad, ultimately, which is either trampling on someone's rights or killing them.
Well, jihad doesn't always mean it. Jihad means struggle. I mean, for example, in a lot of brothers that have daughters, in the masjid I go to, when you ask them, what is your jihad? Is to raise a decent daughter in this environment, which is very difficult.
I wonder why.
So raise a decent daughter, but then, I mean, if she has premarital sex, we're going to bury her in the sand and stone her. Like, here's the thing, is that there are so many tenets of Islam, there's so many passages in the Hadith, in the Quran, all that are wonderful, they're beautiful, but then it goes into practice, right? And then you see the practice of it is like, well, I need to raise a decent daughter. She committed adultery. I'm going to stone her to death. That's it in practice and execution. And that doesn't even go against Islam.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that wrong to punish an adulterous woman? Is it wrong?
To stone her to death? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fucking wrong.
Well, see, then that's when you and I disagree then.
So you think it's cool, like, let's say you had a theoretical daughter and she banged some guy on black.com, you would fucking bury her in the sand and stone her, like cave her skull in with stones?
Well,
and you think that's acceptable?
I mean, if I live in a Muslim society, depends on what the Sharia law, what the Sharia judge says.
Like, literally, dude, like, you're a nice guy, you're well-spoken, but even, this is my problem with Islam, even the nicest Muslims I have met still are like, well, maybe I'd stone my daughter.
That's because we have very different moral values, and
that's fine. You can do that over in Palestine. You can do that over in Iran. I don't give a fuck. But don't come over here with that shit, or else we have a problem. You can stone all the daughters you want in your own shithole countries, in your fucking sand-filled neighborhoods. But if you come over here with that, no, we have a fucking problem.
How are you gonna see? One of the things is to stop sexual promiscuity in the society. That's one way to decadence. Okay, dude, you have to keep the daughters chaste before.
Yeah, I guess if your daughter has a fucking skull caved in from stones, she's not going to be fucking anybody. Though this is a little bit loose, but I did see some passages that said Muhammad may have been a fan of necrophilia, so maybe she would still get some action. We'll see.
Well, see, this is the kind of stuff, right? This is called defamation here. This is called slander.
You literally said that under certain circumstances, you can see an example of stoning your daughter. That is not acceptable in the West. I'm sorry. There is, under no circumstance, is that okay?
It says so in the Torah, too, right?
Yeah, then the Jews are fucked, too. But the thing is, I don't see a Jewish man going, oh, my Sheila, she fucked a man. I need to stone her. I don't see that. I see them taking away her shekels. I see them taking away her allowance.
What's wrong with them? Maybe that's what's wrong with
them. What's wrong with the Jews? What do you mean? They have all these positions of power. What's wrong with them? They're thriving.
Because the liberal Jewish community, you see how they screw up our culture, right?
Dude, can you just admit Islam is like the funniest meme? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe they should. I mean,
maybe they should stone their daughters.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
But see, this is the kind of thing, right? Adulterous women should be punished.
Yeah,
Adulterous
okay.
daughters who are loose should be punished. That's what
Yeah.
I believe.
But
Right?
punish
And
to
you-
me is being like, yo, why'd you fuck a black guy? Punish to you is, yo, get in this fucking hole in the sand. I'm gonna stone you, you bitch. That's the fucking difference. There are so many cases in Islam of women getting raped, and that's considered adultery, and then they kill them for being raped. How fucked is that? Like, can you
and
not
that
say
is
that's fucked up?
That's fucked up. Yeah, I agree. That's fucked up.
But they
But that's
accept that and they
different from
applaud
committing
that.
adultery.
At least you can say that's fucked up. At least we can agree if
Right,
you
that
get
is
raped,
fucked
you
up,
shouldn't
yes.
get stoned. But if you
Yeah,
consented,
that's fucked up.
maybe.
That is fucked up. But committing sexual promiscuity is not tolerated. Right? I will not tolerate my daughter for being promiscuous.
Rip.
You should try fucking a daughter. It's pretty fun.
Oh
Hey,
my god.
Well, Islam actually
I
does have a
rather
huge
have-
problem
No,
with
no, I
incest.
said a daughter. I said a daughter, not your daughter.
Well, here's the
You're gonna
thing
come out there
is,
and slander me for.
I'm not dude, you saying this shit. You're the one saying that it's okay to stone people if they're fucking
Yeah,
sexually promiscuous.
If they committed serious crimes such as committing adultery, being
Hey, Dad, I sucked a dick today. Oh, time for the stones.
But maybe that's why Western society has become so decadent, because Western societies tolerate these kind of stuff.
Look, I have a lot of problems with feminists. I have a lot of problems with SJWs, but my favorite time period in the West was the 1980s with Ronald Reagan as the president, and there was a fuck ton of promiscuity. There was a bunch of sleeping around, but it was also happy and upbeat and positive.
Yeah,
Guess what? There was way less Muslims. There was way less influence of Islam.
In the 90s, didn't it? Every decade, it decays more.
Okay, but in my opinion, decaying more is fucking stoning your daughters if they suck a wiener. Like, that to me is decaying society.
Do you want your daughter to sleep around?
My theoretical daughter, no, I don't want her to sleep around.
Right.
However,
Okay.
if she does, I'm gonna be like, you're a fucking slut. Get the fuck out. I'm not gonna fucking stone her. There's a difference. You don't have to go to the extreme.
But the thing is, if it is set in law, it's to discourage such behavior.
Yeah, and that's the execution. Is it says, oh, you shouldn't do this, but it's not like a fucking, hey, daughter, you sucked a dick
also,
today.
The man she does it with, he's also punished under Sharia.
Oh yeah, but his is like a fucking slap on the wrist compared to death.
100 lashes, man.
He's allowed to live.
Man, and death to the woman.
Yeah, he's allowed to live. How is that fair? What the fuck? How does that make sense? That shows
right? Because it's like
because he has a dick.
Men can change, but women, a lot of times it's damaged goods since then. biologically speaking, it's not. That's why raising a decent daughter is difficult, and that's why the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he says that whoever raised 2 decent daughters will be my companion in the day of judgment. Because remember, Muhammad himself, okay, peace and blessing be upon him, he only had daughters. Can
I ask you a question? Something I actually don't understand, just slightly. Why is it that every time you talk about your prophet, you have to say that slogan? Is it like a trademark thing?
Yes,
like, is it
yes.
like, yeah, like you're gonna get sued by Muhammad if you don't fucking say peace and blessing be upon him?
Including Jesus, peace and blessing be upon him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I was just curious because it just further proves my point that Islam's a meme, because every time I hear that, it sounds fucking funny.
But it's a tradition that's set. Right? That's why the prayers are very ritualistic, because we have to follow them to constantly remind us of what is lawful behavior, what is ethical behavior. There's a greater power in the universe that we must submit to. That his laws are greater than the laws of men. Is that wrong?
Well, I just don't think we're ever going to find any middle ground, because, I think Islam should be wiped out, and here you are saying daughters should be stoned. So I think we're just at opposite
You think
ends, really.
but the thing is, it's spreading, right? It's spreading. It's the fastest growing religion. And
unfortunately. That's why I think we need a new crusade. I think we literally need a new crusade. That's my opinion. But...
All right. Listen, it's past the time. I have to head to work.
All right, man. Well, I mean, I will say I appreciate that you're actually willing to come on and talk, and you're really well spoken, to be honest.
Thank you.
Do do you want to like chill? The thing I would say to you, just a final note, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but you should take, if you probably already know about him, but you should look into Imam Tawhidi.
I heard about his tweet. Yeah, I saw his tweets. Yeah, he made some good points.
Yeah, watch his interview with Tommy Robinson, because just for me personally, because I have very strong views on Islam, but just for me personally, I've said before, if every Muslim was like Imam Tawhidi, I probably wouldn't have a problem with that religion existing at all. Well, I think he's a good guy.
Then again, the religion you will tolerate would probably be like, the secular Jews try to secular Jews will try to go to those corrupt Muslim leaders and try to liberalize Islam, which will do everything in its power to corrupt.
Dude, if you want to fight the Jews, go at it. I'm fine with that. But yeah. Anyway,
well, I mean, do you
want to shill any stuff or anything like before you head out for work?
Before you head out, if you want to mention where people can find you, if you want to, totally up to you. But you want people?
No. I don't want people to find me.
Okay, man, don't worry.
You don't have a Twitter or anything that you put you show your stuff on.
We kept on contact on social media. So Charisma know who I am. I think you know who I am.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've talked with you a bit, but
yeah.
No hard feelings with you, dude. We do appreciate you coming on, of course.
No, what kind of porn do you watch?
What kind of porn do you watch?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Oh okay,
dude. All right, dude. Don't blow up on your way to work, bud.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, why do feminists fucking defend this religion? He literally just said women can't change, they should die, and men.
Here's why, right? What? Here's why. If I'm allowed to get on my soapbox some more, the reason why is because feminism is derived from cultural Marxism, communism, and so it's all about class and it's all about social structures, and they are literally brainwashed. I'm not even joking here. They are literally brainwashed into thinking Islam equals brown people. I am not joking. They don't understand that white Muslims exist, or Chinese Muslims, or Filipino Muslims. One of the best things you can do, actually, is send articles on how... I can send you an article that shows that white gingers, are the highest group that are white that convert to Islam. And there's a reason for it, and there's studies. It's really interesting. It mainly goes into them being bullied. They're singled out in school. Yes, our ginger friend's going to become a Muslim. So that's the thing, is they literally do not understand, either willfully or not, that Islam is a religion, not a race. When I'm talking, and I've had arguments about this, I get accused of being racist all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking about religion here. Religion.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying fuck brown people. I'm dating one.
Dude, that dude that just talked called the Jews a fucking race.
Well, okay, so the thing about Jews are so fucking complicated. I don't want to be here all the time, but there's pretty much, you can be a religious Jew, or there's a strand, and again, let's get a Nazi on, a genuine Nazi, he'll explain this better. But from what my understanding is, Jew is the one religion where you can actually kind of tie it to DNA, because there's Jews that are genetically Jewish. So, for example, Milo Yiannopoulos, one of the best boys on the internet, he calls himself Jewish and Christian. The reason for that is that he is part Jewish in DNA, but he doesn't follow the Jewish religion. He follows not Christian, Catholic. He's Catholic, but I think his mother was Jewish, and he was like, no, Catholic is what's for me. So yeah, no, that's why actually. So I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, Jew is the only religion that also has a separate... They should honestly change the name. It should be Jew and goo or something. I don't know. But yeah, you can be genetically Jewish, or you can follow the Jewish religion, or both. So that's my understanding of it. I need to go back and read the chat. I was just yelling at my fucking wall here. But that was so funny.
They're basically calling you fags.
No.
Yeah.
But while you're reading the chat to yourself, I'm gonna let Mike start talking, because he's been waiting for ages, and I feel.
Dude, I'm getting a drink. That was fucking hilarious. That made my week.
I know that was. Here's what I don't get for a guy who needs to get to work. He constantly keeps talking and talking.
right? Yeah. Oh, we got Jules in here too. One second.
Mike, what do you
Jules.
forget?
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's a
One
mess.
sec. I'm gonna mute you for a second. I just want to make sure it's only one guest at a time.
There you go. Oh,
Well, one sec, okay?
This where I got the big speaker.
All right. As for, I guess I would call it. I'm gonna call you Charman. Charman.
Charmander dude.
Izzy, you call me
As for
Izzy.
the porn, I guess Redline. Redline is style porn. Anyways, what I want to talk about is basically the future of Facebook. Three possible options. So the first, which is the most positive option, is Facebook becomes one of those sites like Dig, MySpace that becomes forgotten. The other possible option is, have you ever played the game Shadowrun or ever heard of Shadowrun?
Oh,
heard of
Elvis in the
Shadowrun.
chat will love you.
Yeah.
I need to play that game.
So the one thing I'm talking about is, so the aspect of Shadowrun is literally corporations own sections of the state's own countries. So I'm thinking that Facebook eventually will own a country. Another option is Facebook will become part of the governments through think tanks, which, to be honest, is already kind of happening with Germany. All the hate speech. Ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, there's a woman, just quickly, there is a woman in Alberta that denied the Holocaust happening just on her own, and she's like 80 years old, and she decided to go to Germany just to see the concentration camps herself and everything. And she went there saying, oh, I deny the Holocaust, I'm just going to go to this. They arrested her, even though she's a tourist, not a citizen, and she's currently in prison. Oh, did I cut out there?
No, you're fine.
Oh, I heard a do-do-do.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And they arrested her, and I think she's still in prison over there. And their excuse was she should have known better than to come to Germany. That's how fucked it is there.
I know it is fucked. And here's what I don't get those laws in general. I mean, okay, so I'm not saying that the Holocaust didn't happen, but let's be well, let's be honest here. Regardless if it did or it didn't happen, why would you make it illegal to have a thought in general? I mean,
yeah, I've always said that. It's pretty much like I believe that the Holocaust happened. I've looked into it so much, but the more and more they arrest these people, it's like it looks like you're hiding something. If you kind of keep imprisoning people for questioning this one part of history, it kind of looks like there's something there. So, yeah.
Well, if you want to be conspiratorial about it, you could say that, oh, the reason why they have those laws is because of Israel, and how basically Germany and the United States are basically donate billions to Israel, so Israel kind of goes, all right, guys, we need to, you see all those goyim, they need to don't need to talk about the Holocaust.
Respect the 13 Jews that died. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, I don't disagree with you at all, man. It's I see like more and more Facebook's reach and Twitter's reach and all these corporations. Like you look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and how much he owns. It's insane, and you don't even know it. They're slowly progressing to being government, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the main thing. Well, to answer, I guess, Zuckerberg's question, the definition of hate speech is basically speech that is corporatized and sanitized, speech that, you can sell to advertisements. Part of the reason why the Facebook group got banned is because, you can't really advertise when someone makes, a very right-wing. Pepsi will just go, I don't know. No, I'm not going to put ads on Facebook because of Group X or this group, which is why I like Gab. Gab, like I said, it's basically if 4chan was a social media site.
100%. No, I love that you're on Gab too. It's great. Like,
yeah,
it's so nice to say whatever you want. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I've seen you on there a lot, and that really makes me happy. I think it was actually you that said to me originally that posting here, it feels almost weird because like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders. Like you can say whatever you want, and like there's no control, there's no suppression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's it's crazy. Pretty much like to fight corporations, it sounds cheesy, but one way you can do it is you got to support your local shops and everything. You got to support the people that you like. So if you see something is like $3 cheaper on Amazon, you know, it's tempting, but maybe go and buy it at your local store, somewhere you support. I mean, me and Charisma are big fans of Alex Jones, so we buy a bunch of stuff on there. A lot of products that are just nothing related to InfoWars. It's just, it helps fund him instead of funding Amazon or Walmart or any of these companies.
Yeah, music related. If you want to support a local artist, or I guess indie, I hate that word, by the way. If you want to support, if you want to support those, Bandcamp and SoundCloud are really great sites.
Or just pirate everything.
Yeah, pirate everything. Or stream.
Awesome. Jules has been waiting a long time too, so I'm gonna pull her in. Mike, we'll still keep you on the sidelines here, and maybe if you have something you want to pop in on, you definitely can.
Yeah, I feel bad because I was yelling at that guy for a long time. So
I was honestly entertained. And it's so ironic that guy has to go to work and yet he likes to constantly talk. And I also mentioned the fact that Vlad the Impaler is a better prophet than Muhammad.
Oh, what? Did he say that, or are you saying that?
I said that.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I love Vlad the Impaler. What a great man.
Praise be to Dracula.
Yeah, that's great.
Love it. Okay, Jules, I'm sending you the invite now. So feel free to pop in. I know you're being really patient with waiting.
Muhammad guy was fucked.
I mean, that's why, like, it's like he was well spoken and he was nice, but it's like if you dig at them hard enough, like it always gets to a point of they're fucked in one way or another. Literally the only one I've ever seen that isn't, if you dig at them hard enough, is like I recommended to him, that Imam Tweedy, and I recommend everyone go look at that interview with Tommy Robinson. And yeah, he pretty much admits that his religion is fucked, but he has faith in it, so he wants to reform it. Yeah. But it's going to take like 100 years or something. Ridiculous. And like Tommy says to his face in that interview, he wants to end Islam. And this Imam just takes it and he's like, I understand. Why? It's incredible. So, yeah.
I was just going to say, Mike, if you want to let people know where they can find you on Gab, and if you use Twitter as well.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell them my Gab is Albanian Man. I'm very patriotic that way. Awesome. And I guess before I mute myself, I'll just say one thing.
Oh, you don't have to mute yourself. You can still comment and stuff.
You can definitely still comment. Yeah, I just didn't want to overload the stream with people. But you're very
I can just. I won't like interrupt the guest, but I'll just say that the Imam, I forgot his name again, but to me, he's the modern day Islam's version of Martin Luther.
Tawhidi or.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's a good boy.
I love it. All right, yeah, Mike, we'll still keep you in. If you feel like chiming in at any point, feel free, but I'm going to give the floor to Jules now. So if you want to introduce yourself, tell people where they can find you.
Heyo, I'm on Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do pretty much anything. Cam does if you want to. I've always been a quiet conservative. I grew up in a really quiet and religious environment, Christian. So porn was definitely a part of growing up. I don't know. I find with career and everything like that, I have to keep myself a little bit more reserved. And so it's nice to be involved in an environment where you can just chat and actually be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have any comments on our Islam apologist that came in? Because I feel like you want to kind of jump in there during that, but I was just trying to keep it so that we could hear what the guy was saying, and
I was doing my best not to yell, but it's so hard. Like,
Davey was already aggressive enough. I know we all disagreed with him, so I just wanted to kind of.
That's my personal opinion. It just seemed like he wasn't even convincing himself. I don't know.
It seemed like his reasoning for joining it was that it wasn't degenerate, and it's like, okay, but you could be a Christian and just look in yourself, or a Catholic or Buddhist. Like, it doesn't have to be Islam. You can just be. You don't need a religion. You don't even need a religion. You can just be a good person, and you can try to show others that.
not only that, I mean, you're dealing with, you look at Muslims, maybe, yeah, a good chunk of them are peaceful, but the problem is the ones that aren't peaceful, and the ones that are going to fall in line with all of the ones that are violent and determined to take over the world.
There was that Arab group that did a study, and they said the majority of Muslims wouldn't do any like bombing themselves, but they would totally agree with anyone who did. And that kind of says everything about the religion. It's like, well, you know, we don't support it, but if some other guy does, then you know that's legit.
I think it was 100% of Muslims in the UK, close to 100. It will never be 100, but it was very, very close. Supports gay marriage being illegal, and that's probably one of the lightest things, right? So,
but that guy saying it's not degenerate. I'm like, I wonder what skeletons are in that guy's club for him to run away from whatever degeneracy he's running away from.
He's a virgin. That's it. 100%.
Yeah.
Good. I hope he never has a daughter then.
It just seems to be the religion for incels. It seems to be a religion for incels. I think the last vagina he saw was the one he came out of.
Oh my god. I love it.
But I mean, it was like I remember there was a gentleman, and I don't know if it was this gentleman, but on the free speech Facebook, who was basically proclaiming that he was looking for a wife in the States and used to live in Canada. And
I don't know if it's the same person. I can tell you that I've gone into a lot of fights with him, and I personally removed him from my Facebook because of how irritated I was getting.
Don't blame you.
Just based on him like going on rants about how like Islam needs to take over the West and we all deserve it and we're too weak to like stand up and all this stuff, and I was just kind of getting over it.
Yeah, that guy won't be the guy standing up because his face kicked in if he did.
Yeah. So it's so I don't know if it's the same person, but I can definitely tell you that I've gotten into a lot of conversations with him where I've just left being like, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, you're disgusting.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
He couldn't talk his way out of a wet paper bag. It was just hilarious.
I mean, like, okay, we'll give him credit. I think that he was really well spoken in terms of coming on. He didn't lose his cool with us. Like, he was just
no, he did. He would make ridiculous statements, and then Jamie would mock it. And he'd be like, "What, are you attacking me now?" Like, he wasn't.
Yeah, but I mean, in comparison to, I guess, what I'm used to viewing, like most people would have rage quit with the slamming they were getting, you know. So I am happy that he stuck to it, but
he would have rage quit, but he didn't have his vest ready.
Well, he didn't, yeah, exactly.
Well, it wouldn't be a rage quit; it would be a bomb quit.
That's the ultimate Muslim rage quit.
Oh my god.
Allah kaboom. I love how he like trolled getting his Allah Akbars at the end. It's like anybody cares.
I wonder if this guy is like that fucking Filipino pedophile that does it like just for
Amos
trolling.
E.
Yeah, I wonder if he's like an Amos E for Islam.
I have my suspicions.
That'd be funny.
I do have my suspicions because I think he just like
he's an Amos E and not a Ross.
Oh no.
This thing's so gross inside and out.
I don't know. I think remember back in the days of yore, where the Catholic Church was the bastion for all for homosexuals, so they could go and be thing. And with the way that all these Islamists talk about women, it's just like I wonder if that's like where the bastion from the new homosexuals now. It's like it's a boys only club, and there's no women allowed, and all the women that are allowed, it can't be seen. It seems.
Well, no, that's why it's like I was bringing up that they have. There's a rule where you know gay sex is illegal, but it specifically says men, and it's really interesting actually how Islam works because it's like the words are very particular. So because Muhammad said men, he must mean that boys are okay.
I remember reading a couple articles in the States. These troops in Afghanistan were talking about how they're was because they would literally. They would hear like these Afghani soldiers like raping little boys, and that was like a normal thing, and they couldn't do anything about it because that was their culture.
And no, that's the thing as well, is that the boys are brought up in this culture, so it's like it's rape, but they're not like fighting or anything. Like they're just accepting it. It's like, yeah, no, I'm just getting fucked today. That's my life. Another day in the wonderful world of Islam.
You can't make the willing.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out there.
You can't rape the willing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
God.
No, I mean, it's not like when you say rape, you're thinking of them fighting back or anything, but no, they're just like brainwashed into the dogma, just walking around. Like, I've seen the footage where they put hidden cameras in, and there's just these boys just getting passed around, and there's this old, like, fucking, like, long bearded guy, and he just starts, like, fingering his ass, goes to the next guy.
Yeah,
like, I've seen all this shit on the internet. It's terrible.
Because all Muslims are homosexuals. It's
Dude, you watch some weird porn, Jamie.
Lively.com.
It's just proof. All Muslims are homosexuals. I mean, they want women to be covered up. Women are 2/3 of a man. Yada yada yada. But they praise men, praise boys. They certainly like their boys. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I've said before that, like, if that's their culture or whatever, and they want to stay in their own country, like, whatever, I wouldn't give a fuck. But the fact that it's being imported around the world and in the West by these leaders, these globalists and everything, that's where I have an issue. It's like, okay, stay in Pakistan, do that shit.
Fucker somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's getting imported everywhere, that's what I'm like, okay, well,
but you have
sorry, go on.
You have a people that proliferate. I mean, you look at most Western society, there's a decline of people actually having kids. The way the Muslims or the radicalists or whatever you want to call, the way they're winning is they're actually having children. You know, you look at a lot of people a lot of whites aren't having kids. A lot of conservatives aren't having kids.
Well, there's so many different reasons for this, and the thing is, like, the state supports these Muslims having so many kids, and they put them on welfare, which you're paying for at your job. Well, another thing is that sorry, go on.
They definitely want abortion for Western society, but they're the exact opposite for Islam.
Yeah, no, abortion being so readily available is one reason that birth rates are declining. Feminism, like, a lot of women are just set into not having kids and they just want to be independent, all this. And it's just like, that's not even radical feminists. That's just like kind of dogma you've been brought up in.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's all these little things bit by bit that kind of form this whole package.
And men are becoming more like women nowadays, where women don't want to fuck men.
Filter your water. Don't eat soy.
I am just going to interject and say that our previous Islam apologist is what I'm going to call him, because I don't want to use his real name just in case he doesn't want me to.
He's a dirty shill.
Praise be upon him.
No, what I want to say is his. Go on. Okay, get your jabbing.
I was just gonna say he was a street shitter and a camel fucker.
Oh my god! First of all, he's not. It's not a race; it's a religion. But anyways, what his whole point was the thing about us not having kids versus a lot of people in that religion majorly making that push. So yeah, kind of, you guys agree on that, like you're saying.
He's not
wrong.
Oh
yeah,
he's not wrong.
And but it's a little bit easier when you can beat your women if they don't have sex with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, of course, I don't agree with his methodology, but yeah, it's that is his point.
It's always the guys with no personality that like convert to this religion, like, you know, and now they want like the perfect woman and they want her to be pure and all the rest of it. I'm like, yeah, you have no personality.
I mean, I think if you want to shift towards, getting birth rates up, I think a big part of it would honestly, when you yourself have kids, you can't do public schooling because public schooling is completely taken over.
Yeah.
And it's all,
whatever.
Like, public schooling literally is there to indoctrinate your kids from kindergarten all the way to university. Unfortunately. Like, I would love to be able to support this stuff, but I know girls that are in, I think it was Ireland, that were going to their college or whatever to be a lawyer, and they're teaching them about patriarchy. And she's like, "Excuse me, what the fuck? I want to learn about law." And you see things in kindergarten where they're bringing in trans rights activists, and they're saying, "Oh, now my kid thinks it's cool, so we're going to turn him into a woman." It's like, no. Like, you just need to
beta blockers before puberty is child abuse. I mean, puberty, you want to ruin your body, it's whatever, and then change your mind later and then put a bullet in your head. That's entirely up to you. But putting a kid on beta blockers before puberty, so they don't have a chance to realize it was all one big mistake, is child abuse.
I used to not even like homeschooling for kind of the same reasons, because I used to be like, oh, if you homeschool your kids, then you're not exposing them to outside ideas and they're just going to believe your narrative. But now it's reversed. Now if you take them to public schooling, they're going to believe that narrative. So I'd much rather you just take your parents' word than take this fucking brainwashing bullshit through life and think that's correct.
I was homeschooled, and frankly, I was homeschooled I was totally brainwashed. My mom didn't know how to teach, so that also added an interesting element. But frankly, I mean, as much as I have a negative opinion of homeschooling from my own perspective of it, I don't want to put my kids in public school. I really don't, because frankly, it's the same thing. They're being indoctrinated.
Did you ever have a crush on the teachers?
Oh, yeah, that was an incest joke, Jules.
I personally think the main way for the West to bring up the birth rates is one thing to either abolish or limit family courts, because I absolutely despise family courts, especially since the man is considered always considered the monster, regardless of what happens, whether or not he is or isn't.
Everybody watch Red Pill, the movie. You will cry. It'll make you miserable. But
I remember the movie. There's this Argentinian documentary film about the dads that basically, got screwed up in the system and basically couldn't barely see their kids for bullshit reasons. And there's even one fact where the mom was clearly crazy, and the court didn't really believe that. And I believe a year or so, she murdered her sons.
I grew up in a rather splintered home, and my dad is probably the only reason I'm still a sane person today. And frankly, I've seen a number of guys who have fallen victim to the woman is always considered the saint in things, and there's this presumed guilt upon the dad before the system even gets to deal with it, and it's absolutely ridiculous and destructive.
Did your mom almost try to kidnap you? Pretty much.
She did. It took me 4 hours in a car, convincing
Jesus.
me around. I had
my
God.
God.
Turn around.
She
was taking me back to Canada. I was in the States at the time, and my mom was taking me back to Canada, and I had to, at the age of 13, I had to convince my mom to turn around.
Jesus. Oh, I'm really sorry that happened to you. I had no idea. Oh my God.
And she's a sociopath too, which is crazy.
Well, she's an anxious narcissist, but yeah.
Very bad combo.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, guys, I mean, they somehow have it in their minds that the mother is always the best. 9 out of 10 times, the mother is the best.
Oh.
But then you look at, you look at situations like what Boogie had to go through, where his mom was trying to, stab him or something in the car, and he had to jump out of the car when he was a kid and all this. He's made this all public.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's insane. Everyone just watch Red Pill, the movie, and you'll see how biased courts are towards the fathers.
I remember in the late 90s when I was in high school, there was a dad who climbed the Port Mann Bridge in protest because he was being pushed through the courts the same way, and he was and that was back then. He was I'm bringing it up, and everyone just laughed at him and said he's just some kook.
Yeah, no, it's been a long battle, and I'm not even MRA or anything. This isn't my area of expertise, but I mean, if you look into this stuff for just 15 minutes, you see how messed up the courts are and how biased they are towards men. It's messed up.
And the courts, they know it's fucked up. The judges know they're not doing the right thing, but that's just how the laws are written now.
Yeah.
All right, well,
that's depressing.
I'm gonna go cry. No,
yeah.
Let's go back to talking about the Jews.
Oh my God. Well,
shut down.
Jules, Cam, is really awesome to have you both. If you want to quickly shell once more, tell people where they can find you. Feel free, and then we're gonna let Mr. Shikaki talk because he's been waiting for a long time too. So.
Oh, he's been here since the beginning. Yeah.
Quattro Cabbage on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook. You can find me there. I'm always happy to chat.
Awesome. It was nice chatting with you both. Feel free to hang out in the YouTube chat as well still, but I'll talk to you again soon.
Gas the Jews.
Oh my God.
It's shut down.
Shut down. No. Boom.
Watch out, Scotland Yard.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce the next person. Mr. Shikaki, feel free to tell people where to find you. And yeah, I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself apparently.
Yeah, I keep muting myself so you guys don't hear me breathe.
What the hell? Okay, there you
Oy
go.
vey.
Oy vey.
Back of the oven. I'm Mr. Shikaki. You can find me on Twitter. I'll let you figure out what my Twitter handle is. I think I have a Gab, but I've just never go on it because I pitched them a really good marketing idea and they didn't take it. Now I'm mad at them.
Oh my
fair
god.
enough.
Hey, if you
I
tag
told
me,
them to do a Christmas campaign where it says "Give the gift of Gab,"
that's amazing.
Oh, that's good.
That's
and they
actually
just
amazing.
totally ignored me.
If you tag me in it and you write that out again, Andrew Tarba follows me, so I'll repost that.
What was the last
his
porn I
attention.
watched? So I'm into realistic Euro porn. So there's this really busty, short blue hair chick, also very wide, and she calls this plumber in. She flashes her, get plumbing work license, and so they start making out, and it fades to black, and then her head's above the ground, and this guy in a robe's throwing rocks at her.
Nice, beautiful.
Sounds like our last guest would have appreciated a stoning porn as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jesus. Elvis says in the chat, so refugee porn. Yeah, pretty much. I actually talked about it, I think it was a few months ago. Apparently, in Germany, there's a rise in demand for Muslim porn. So, like, women wearing hijabs and all this, and then they have to go to, like, white men, and they get, like, paid to fuck them. And I'm like, damn it, guys, you crusade, and then you fap. You don't fap first.
What if the Muslim refugees are just cucks? That's the only change in population.
Oh, maybe. That would actually solve a lot of problems, but it doesn't look like they are, but I hope you're right.
Well, since we got Shikaki here, I know you probably have your own topics too, and I'd love to hear it. But Black Trident asked, thoughts on Elon Musk's new website? And I know you're part of Gamergate and stuff like that, so maybe you'd like to...
I'll be right back, by the way. Continue.
Isn't it basically deep freeze?
It's pretty much deep freeze, yeah.
Okay, well, Tesla always is 5 years in the future, 10 years in the past. I think that it's a good idea, but I think it would be a lot better if Trump created the website.
Oh, 110%, dude. Dude, Mongo.
And I think that I think the main problem, this was the problem with deep freeze, is that when you're reading garbage, you really don't care too much about the journalist so much as the publication.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I couldn't even, off the top of my head, name more than 4 journalists, and I know all of their names for the wrong reasons. So I think it would be a lot better, and I haven't looked into the site at all, so maybe he did do this. I think it'd be a lot better to do a Rotten Tomatoes, but just for journalist websites.
That's phenomenal, dude. Yeah. I don't know if that's his plan. I don't really know a crazy amount of it. I just know that he's kind of going the Gamergate route because he's getting fed up with journalists. And now, of course, they're all like, message me if he's ever, like, looked your way kind of shit. Like, they're trying to get him on rape shit.
So I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to post a picture of a dog. If that picture gets 100 likes, I'm going to claim the persona of a black disabled woman and say that Elon Musk sexually abused me.
No! Damn it, it'll work. That's why I don't want you to do it.
And my name is going to be, it'll be an amputee, and my name will be Shaniqua, but knee will be spelled Knee.
Actually, like, wait, if you do that and then you get articles written about you, but then reveal you're just fucking with the media, that'll make them look worse.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. That's the plan.
Okay, yeah, do it.
Oh my god, you guys heard it here. Once he does the tweet, I'm going to post it in the chat. This needs to
it won't be for a little while, but...
Oh, man.
They are... I was away. I don't know if you guys said this, but they are literally like there's tweets that they've now deleted saying, "Has anyone been sexually harassed by this man? Please." Like,
that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, they're just like trying to be like, "Did he rape anyone? Please tell me." Like, fuck off.
I'm gonna even do like really cheesy quotes where it's like, I said out of gas already, and he said it's okay, I'm a hybrid.
That's fucking beautiful.
Oh my god.
Hashtag Mr. Medica raped me.
Oh, it's too good. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about specifically, or are you here to shitpost? Because that's what I love you for. The shitpost.
I can do both. One thing I wanted to talk about actually. This is an idea that's been floating on in my head for a little bit. Do you guys think that the only reason Battlefield 5 has a female protagonist in it is because they know the game is going to flop and don't want to blame it on shitty mechanics?
I actually had a question since you know about Battlefield 5.
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Fuck. Okay. Well, my whole thing was because I see a lot of people. God damn it! So, I see a lot of people shitting on it, and I see all the backlash and everything. But for me, it's pretty much like, okay, there's a woman in it, but I'm looking at it, and then they have like arms that are robotic. Like, is this supposed to be historically accurate to some time period, or is this like a clusterfuck alternate reality kind of thing? Is this Call of Duty World War II, where it's a World War II game, yet there's black female Nazis? Or is this like a sci-fi game?
Oh, there won't be black female Nazis. I think that they're actually going to be really clever with it and make some of the Nazis in the game you shoot look vaguely similar to some of the internet celebrities they don't like.
Oh, so is it a World War II game then? Is that what they're trying to?
It is World War II.
Okay. Then that's fucking retarded, because I only saw screenshots and I'm like, well, I don't care if there's a woman in it. It looks like it's a sci-fi thing. But if it's World War II, then yeah, that's fucking dumb. So.
Well, you know what would be great about being a woman character is that no women died in World War II, so you know you're not gonna...
It's like God mode.
God damn it.
But I am going to say one thing. If there are vehicles in the game, I'm kicking that bitch out of the driver's seat.
Can you imagine you get like negative 50% driving skills if you're playing a woman character or something?
You're gonna go into a plane and you're gonna fall asleep and you're gonna wake up in some kind of trench. You're gonna be like, I can't get mad at you, but I need to know how.
I just I want to know their logic behind making this game, because it's like, okay, it's World War II, but then there's women, but then there's cybernetics.
Well, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming out first, right?
So they have to up the ante.
So Battle Royale isn't going to be a fad by the time that it comes out, so they're going to need some kind of scapegoat to blame this on, and they're definitely, after they get bad sales, going to say it's because there was a woman. Star Wars did the exact same thing.
Yep. And I was actually, like, did you play Battlefront 2, by the way? Did you play that storyline?
I actually despise shooters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Warframe's the only shooter I've ever gotten into, and it's not even a shooter. It's an action.
I really need to try that game. So it's really funny, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And so I played that game, and I was actually kind of excited for the story, because I don't care that it's a woman. But I was wanting a good Imperial campaign, because you start off in the Empire, and
well, yeah, but you're a woman.
Spoiler alerts.
Her only weakness is that she cares too much.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, spoilers for anybody that cares, but like an hour into the campaign, she decides to be a rebel, and I'm like, oh great, now it's just fucking a shitty version of Rogue One. Like like if they would have kept her for those first couple missions where she's actually a villain that you're playing for the Empire, then it would have been okay. But,
to be honest, Jamie, I thought you were talking about Rey from The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, it's
Rey's
all the
only
same.
weakness
Like, yeah,
is that she cares too much.
Nuke.
Oh yeah, we're seeing Han Solo tomorrow. I'm not excited.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a mess.
You know what Han Solo's weakness is? He's a straight white male.
Oh
yeah.
My god.
I'm actually really surprised that there wasn't a romantic subplot with Lando in there, because they could have done that.
Well, the writer said that he's making Lando a pansexual. So I don't know. I avoid spoilers, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, what's wrong with bots?
Like, fuck. Lando's character was always suave and cool and everything, and he's always hitting on women. Now he likes to fuck everything.
I think they should make Chewbacca an incel.
He's like a fucking MRA. Like.
He actually speaks perfect English, and he only does that because that's his sigh, and he's just so frustrated.
They should make like the holiday special canon again, and so his wife left him and took the kids and everything, and because in the holiday special he has a wife and kids and all that.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to remind people, because I don't know how many people have seen this. I do have a few codes for Honey Pop that I'm giving away tonight to people who join our Gab group. So pretty much all you have to do is sign up for Gab, join the free speech group, which you can do either by link that I've been posting on Twitter, Facebook, Gab, or just search up free speech and Gab, join, and then DM me saying you want to enter to win. So I got a few codes, and I'd love to give them away to people.
Hey, speaking of Honey Pop, did Valve go back on that getting rid of a bunch of nudity games?
That's actually why we're giving away codes. Last I checked, Valve kind of apologized for the review or the issue, and they said they would be manually reviewing it. So it was kind of like oh fuck, sorry guys, you're not getting removed yet, but we're gonna look into it. And that's the last I heard. I don't know if anyone knows it. Any other?
This was probably just some asshole that wanted to get paid for playing a bunch of Honey Pop.
What I think happened, and this is a wild guess, but I think they hired someone at Valve that was a social justice warrior or something, and they decided to use their job to flag all these porn games and all these sexual games or something, and then Honey Pop, because it was like 7 games or something that were hit. So all these games, because also one of the games that wasn't hit, where you can actually like have a girl eating another girl out and it's super graphic, it didn't get hit, and it was made by a male to female trans woman.
You know what I love about Islam?
What's that?
When lesbians go scissor, you get to throw rock.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
So yeah, it's really peculiar that this game that's more graphic than Honey Pop didn't get hit, because it was, it might have something to do with the trans person making it. But yeah, Valve pretty much said sorry about this, jumped the gun. We're gonna manually review it, and that's the last I heard.
What's that game? What's that game called?
Oh, the trans one, where with the eating a girl out and all that.
Yeah, I just for science. What's it called?
I'll look into it for you, bud. I forget the name.
My question is, why would they hire another person? I mean, Valve already doesn't need to do anything, and they're already making millions, if not billions of dollars, just not doing anything.
Well, that's the thing, is Honey Pop has been out on Steam for like, 3 years or something? Never a problem. Not one complaint. So, yeah.
The game dev recently started attacking social justice warriors.
Oh, Honey Pop?
And by attacking, of course, I mean politely disagreeing.
Oh yeah, the Honey Pop guys have always memed on SJWs. Let's see here.
There should be a really unattractive, like, butch lesbian in the next Honey Pop game, and after you do the date thing, she like starts taking off her shirt, and the protagonist just says nope and leaves.
Oh my god.
Or it would be a over where the main protagonist gets illegally blind and she has to pay for his disability checks.
Oh, jeez.
Or he just looks down and says, but that's a penis.
I'm actually really excited for Honey Pop 2, because one of the characters is confirmed a Muslim, and she's like a secret slut, so I'm really hoping that, like, if I get a perfect score, I convert her or something like that. She's gonna be my main girl.
Shad base approved.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If only I knew enough about the religion to make a pun. So another question I have for you guys, possibly a potential subject of conversation.
Yeah.
This is totally unrelated to porn on Steam.
That's unfortunate.
What do you guys think about the greatest American president who ever lived? Of course, I'm talking about Barack Obama.
Oh God! Don't get me started on Obama.
Oh my god.
Hey, he did what no other man before him could ever hope to do.
Create the biggest
Double
amount
the
of
national
drones
debt.
possible.
No, he managed to exist without making people feel oppressed.
Oh
That's
my
pretty
god.
amazing.
We could go on an Obama rant, but like, just...
Yeah,
It
no, I
doesn't
know. I
even
know you're just
matter.
shit posting, so it's hard for me to get mad because it's
He
funny.
doesn't have a legacy. Like Trump's first day.
Yeah, he
his
just wiped everything.
Yeah, his only legacy is going to be that he used the FBI so that Hillary could win a one-sided election and she still lost.
Well, I mean, Obama would have had a legacy if the drones didn't happen and the kill of people that named his legacy mainly drone strikes.
What I'm actually worried about is that history is going to remember Obama so fondly, and then they're going to hate Trump, like way long after I'm dead. Even though Obama was a fucking nightmare, like it doesn't matter because he was the first black president, and because the media was in his pocket. It's just always he's gonna be remembered as one of the greatest presidents ever, even though he is one of the worst, if not the worst. That makes me depressed.
Is one of the only social sciences that actually has Republicans in it. So I think what we're going to see is, a lot of Democrats go into sociology, gender studies, psychology, and Republicans are going to be the ones writing the history books, which is why I laugh whenever a Democrat says, not shaving my armpit hair is going to put me on the right side of history. I believe that Trump's legacy is going to be that if he's a two-term president and we get peace in Korea, that's going to be his legacy. It doesn't matter if he builds the wall or not.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah, if he's a one-term president and we haven't had the meeting with Korea yet, then it'll probably be that he just really BTFO'd ISIS. It'll be one of those two. And both of those are going to put him in a positive light. I don't even think his tweets are going to be in a history book, except for a quick aside. Donald Trump was the first president who had autism. But other than that, I don't see too much about him.
I hope you're right. Honestly, I'm a little bit more pessimistic, but I really hope you're right on this. So.
Well, hell, I thought he was going to lose.
Ready
for Hillary.
The day of the election, I was shaking. I was like, please God, please don't let her win. And I thought he was going to lose as well. I thought I had a 1 in 100 shot of doing this, and I'll never forget that night. That was such an amazing night. I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh,
I was just
switching. Too.
I was just switching stream to stream, going from the Young Turks to CNN to going to my Facebook friends, and they were all so mad. And I would just post in their comments what a great day, and I'd post his face smiling. Oh, the salt! Nothing will top the salt of that day. Maybe when he gets reelected for a second term, that will.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, what's up?
I hate you, and also I gotta go. So, bye, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Izzy, do you want to shill anything?
Yeah, shill your stuff, man.
Okay, www.pornhub.com. I'll shill another time. I'll see you later.
All right, bye. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. See ya.
See you tomorrow.
Pornhub might be one of those PG-13 sites. I don't know.
We should check.
Absolutely. Live stream it. Actually, you know what I think is going to happen? I think a decade from now, YouTube as a site is not going to exist anymore.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because, they make no money and they keep giving into ideology. So that if anything, they're probably losing money.
Well, Google only has YouTube so that no one else will make it YouTube. Because what Google's afraid of is video content is a lot more popular than text-based content, and most of Google shit is text-based content. So if somebody just makes a video-based will answer your questions medium, and YouTube doesn't immediately get rid of it, then Google is going to start losing money.
I'm probably just not smart enough to understand the business aspect of this, but I've always wondered with how fucked YouTube is, Why doesn't we just need a huge YouTuber, like one huge YouTuber, like PewDiePie levels or Keemstar levels or something, just to be like, fuck this site. I'm making my own competitor. I'm only gonna be there, and then people will slowly flock over to that. Because like if you get a huge one, those fans, those millions of people will go to that site. But I've never seen anyone do it.
There's
I
a lot
can't
of
do it.
risk in it. First of all, you have to essentially buy a small town to hold a server that can store that much content.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And we live now in a time where web services are just shutting your website down because they don't like what you're posting, and they're very left. So you could buy a web server that's the size of a small town, get shut down, and be out tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of one of the reasons why I felt like we need someone huge, because like those huge guys, they have millions and millions of dollars. So even if they take a loss, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, so who knows?
Yeah, and I think what's going to end up happening is Pornhub is just going to make a non-porn focused video-based service, and just blow YouTube out of the water. Just call it like Your Hub or something, because you already have
They've been
gun
hinting at that,
people over
right?
there. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of money in porn, so they'd probably be losing money on it, but I know that Pornhub, the people who run it, are very First Amendment, so they might just do it to spite YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're advertising on a porn site, you're not going to care if you're advertising on like anything else.
Because Izzy he sent me a link the other day to Pornhub, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? So I waited until I was home from work, I clicked it, and there was just a link to the DK rap, and I'm like, where's the porn? And then I found a bunch of videos that were just like video game clips, and everyone was in the comments being like, oh, this brings me back. I miss DK64.
You can't do your job if it's posted on a not safe for work site.
But little did I know I could have clicked it actually. But yeah.
My latest tweet is Pornhub the future? Mr. Shikaki weighs in.
Pornhub's the present.
Pornhub
and
is
it's
the present.
gift that keeps on giving. And don't worry, the puns won't stop coming.
Oh Jesus, that was one into itself. No, too many puns. Oh jeez.
Oh my god, we have been neglecting the chat a little bit. If you
want me to do a quick read,
yeah,
I can do a quick.
do a scrub style.
Shout out my fan mail.
Okay, wait, where did I leave off?
Let me unzip and get ready for this.
I mean, you didn't read anything during your debate there, so...
It's too far. I'm just going to read a bunch going up because it is too far. Okay, guys, let's see. It's a gift that keeps on coming. Yeah, Pornhub. Yeah, YouPorn has infrastructure investment to make that happen. It'd be a cluster of servers, not just a single server. However, the rest of the technical problem space is legit. Yeah, I'm just retarded. I'm just spitballing here. Lamau, I knew Izzy would shill porn. Ha 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 ha. Cam kept calling and wanting to know which states won. His legacy is a Nobel Peace Prize for being black, apparently. We'd be here all night with a Muslim. 69ing sausages always go paper when playing rock, paper, scissors. They always go rock. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. SJW still messing things up. Ha 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 ha. No classes, but if you play a woman, you can heal allies by handing them a sandwich. Ideology is brain cancer. I think they believe it's hate. Battlefield 5. Wait, now it's okay to shoot women. I'll leave it on that.
I was planning on making an alter ego, but I just didn't have the time. An alter ego journalist for these SJW sites, and this was about in 2016.
I think I remember this. I feel like you were talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first articles I was gonna write is we need to talk about the fact that Obama's half white.
Yeah. I think so many people don't even know that.
No,
like,
and he was raised by a white woman. Like,
yeah. Who didn't the white woman also, like, since before he was born, work for the FBI, if I remember correctly?
I don't know. Now the FBI's working for her, but...
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure, like, he was pretty much connected to the FBI since birth, if I remember correctly. Like, it was one of his parents worked for them. But, yeah.
For some reason, it's not letting one of my people come in. It's saying it's not allowed to join the call.
Why are
Sorry,
they?
am I using too much bandwidth?
Oh my god. It's so funny. You should still do that journalist thing. I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I do have a little more free time now.
Dude, I mean, do it. Like, especially with the Elon Musk thing happening, this is a perfect time to jump in there.
I think
I agree.
The problem is, I have a certain tone of voice, and it kind of conveys my writing tone where nobody knows if I'm serious or joking.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, so it would be really good satire, but I also don't want to give them any arguments.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many posts, and then people just take it for face value. Like, there's probably people that take Godfrey for face value too. Actually, the April Truebody account, I often see that one come up, and it's actually it's similar to Godfrey, and people will use that account for their arguments and be like, "Oh my God, social justice warriors, blah blah blah." It's like, it's fucking shill. Like, it's a fake account. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you don't even have to do that. Like,
yeah,
the people who speak on behalf of social justice are crazy enough.
Yeah. No, I love that account. But it's funny, like, seeing people take that up. Or even, I remember Margaret did, like, I can't even remember what it was about, but she wrote something, and then, like, some journalist picked it up and tried to use it for an article a long time ago. Like, they'll just fucking read it and think it's like, oh yeah, this is legit. So true. I don't know why it's not letting you in. I'm very sorry, Joe. I'm gonna keep trying to get you
I
in.
think you have to delete System 32.
Yeah. That's my computer. No, don't do that. Don't listen to that man. Don't listen to him.
It'll actually let you install more RAM.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I'll have to do that.
God damn it.
Oh my
And
God.
if you want to speed up your computer, I'm gonna send you it's a file. It says .exe, but it's actually just a Word document. Don't worry. I'll just call it not a virus, so you know for sure.
Oh my God. I love it.
Next time you're on the phone playing Bing Bang Wahoo in the living room, not me. I feel shunned now.
What is Bing Bang Wahoo?
It's video games.
Okay. I can't believe you play those.
I know. I'm such a fucking
filthy
virgin.
Degenerate.
Yeah. No, I agree. Charisma, you've been asking other people their opinions on stuff. Why don't you tell us something that'll get you in trouble?
Something that'll get me in trouble, like all my fucking opinions.
She's not white.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Twitch thoughts? Go ahead.
Oh, don't get me started on Twitch thoughts. I get so mad, dude.
Yeah, go talk about
I get so mad.
What's her name? Elena?
Fucking that one that was getting mad at PewDiePie.
There was this one chick, her boobs were so big, I bet if she looked down, she couldn't even see her penis.
Oh, jeez. I'm trying to think. What's something that'll make Charisma mad here?
Oh my God. No, Twitch thoughts do make me angry. There's one Twitch thought that I was following just to see how much money she would make. And literally all she did was play fucking DDR or some bullshit. And her tits were bouncing everywhere. She didn't even know what a video game was. And she was making like thousands and thousands of dollars per day. Just bouncing around, being like, oh, it's Call of Duty. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're the best. I agree.
So what? My free cams is dried up. They have to go to Twitch now.
Seriously, it's just so irritating. It's like, oh, like there's all these people that could just be cam whores and be fucking cam girls and shit, and instead they go on Twitch and try to target like the video game aspect people. It's just like, yeah, of course it's gonna work, but then I always feel bad for the people who are trying to make an honest living on it. You know, and like,
do you know all those pictures of the Twitch thoughts who, for whatever reason, put their controllers in their mouths?
Oh my God, I hate that so much.
Do you think that's where Nintendo got the idea for the Wiimote?
Do you think that's where they got the idea for the fucking like poison on the cartridges? Like, Jesus Christ.
I heard, yeah, they made it taste bad.
Yeah, fuck. It doesn't look like Joe's gonna be able to come in, unfortunately.
Oh, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah.
I'd make a joke, but EDS is a very serious issue.
Oh my God. Well, I think we've been going for a while, so I think we should close it up with the whole Tommy Robinson situation.
We're at a guess. No more friends. No more
No,
internet
we're
friends.
We got lots of friends.
It's because
just,
I'm on here.
Yeah, pretty much. You've killed it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, we don't have anyone else waiting to come on or anything.
We started streaming 3 hours ago.
No, I'm just genuinely asking. I'm making sure that no one gets left behind.
Joe, and there's one more person that I can see if he still wants to come on. But yeah, it doesn't look like Joe's able to get on this one, but we will be doing more of these. So
Bring that Muslim guy back on here. I wanted to ask him how his day was going.
Yeah, he would be on, but he probably has to pray 7 times a day, so you know how it is.
I'm pretty sure he's a Poe. I'm pretty sure he does it just to fuck with people. I don't believe that he is. Like,
I know that converts tend to be the most radical of the group. When
Yeah.
talking about religions, and he did say he was a convert.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he was raised, I think he said Catholic. I think it was. But,
Well, then he's
yeah.
used to bending over for the priest.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell because like Muslims are so cringy. It's like, is he doing it as a meme or what? Yeah, it's really
I
hard
think
to
the
say.
problem with it is like, I mean, he did not say anything that was against Islamic doctrine.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the whole Tommy thing, like, I'm pretty pissed off about it. I don't know if you guys actually viewed the whole footage. I did sit through that whole hour and a bit of him being outside. And every time he was referring to the case, he was saying allegedly. Like, he was not pinning anything on these people. He was very, very politically correct with it, in my opinion. And they pretty much accused him of breaching the peace. And of course, it's just an excuse to get him in jail. Like, if you guys have watched a lot of his content, he's done speeches on this before. The police state is out to get him because he's trying to stand up against this shit, and it's just infuriating to me.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you choose to be born in the UK?
With the absolute state of it. Yeah, it's I've been a fan of Tommy's for a while. It's incredibly maddening, but if you see his history with it, they pretty much admit to wanting to put him in prison. The whole thing is, I don't know if he really explained it, but pretty much what happened is he had a suspended. It was very similar to Jada Franson and Paul Godding, what happened to them, but he wasn't allowed to talk pretty much about this court case. So then he was outside of it streaming. He was outside near the court case. Then they ran by, and so he was kind of talking about it. And even though they're cutting back on police in the UK, all of a sudden a paddy wagon pretty much shows up with, like, what was that, like 7 police officers? And they take him away immediately. And then I think it's within the hour, he was in front of a judge, and then 13 months in prison. And the judge even said, like, they had notes. I think Lauren Southern posted notes saying the judge is aware that putting him in prison might kill him, and he doesn't even care. Like, he said, why should I care about that? That's not my problem, pretty much. So, and then to make it even worse, they have the media gag. So they put on a media gag to pretty much say no one in the UK is allowed to talk about this, or you also face prison time. I saw a clip of Sky News, and these news anchors on Sky News are pretty much saying, well, something really insane happened, and we can't talk about it. We really wish we could tell you, because we're mad. Like, it was insane. So what I recommend for people is look into this. You can find Tommy Robinson. Like, if you just YouTube Tommy Robinson arrest, you can find it. And the main thing you can do is, if you're allowed to talk about it, if you're not from the UK, just talk about it. Tell people about this because it's absolute insanity. And then if you want to support him even, because he is going to be fighting this, he has a lawyer. I think it's TommyRobinson.online.
And I am going to post this in the chat. We've got a few links prepared for you guys.
Because he's so high profile, though, there's a lot of people saying, oh, donate to me. I'll make sure Tommy gets the money. This is the official thing. Don't trust it. Just go to TommyRobinson.online. That's the only definite place where you can send them money. And if you don't even want to send them money, there's another link, which I posted in the Gab group, the Free Speech Gab group the other day, where you can send him letters, and you can send his family letters, and it's a family friend or something that is making sure the letters will get to Tommy and get to his family, because now, like, he's a father. I think he has 2 kids, and so all of a sudden, just one day, just gone, your dad, in prison, 13 months, might be dead. The wife, now it's to take care of these 2 kids all of a sudden. Drop of a hat.
What if the wife couldn't speak English?
Yeah, I heard about that. There was a guy, didn't he like rape a kid or something? And then because the wife couldn't speak English, they just let him go. They're like, oh, well, what is she going to do?
There was a guy in California who raped, was like a 70-year-old man, and he raped a 5-year-old girl. And he got, and this was a white guy, but I'm trying to spread awareness of this story so that, more people get pissed off, because it's kind of been swept under the rug because this guy is really rich and powerful. Yeah. He got 90 days house arrest, 2 years probation.
Jesus.
That's
fucked up.
Yeah. No,
I'm surprised I haven't even heard of that.
I'll show you the other stuff afterwards, Jeremy. Yeah.
Probably a left-winger.
Yeah.
So they're with the Tommy Robinson thing, I've been watching it, and I've been really confused. Not that the UK judge did this. I mean, they're all not even men, but the media outlets are going along with it. Like, they're not going to send you all to jail, right? Like, if everyone reports on it, there's no threat.
I agree with you. It's just everyone in the UK is so scared, and it's infuriating because it's like, guys, this is your freedom. At what point are you going to stand up? I think it was 3-4 years ago that they said you need a license to watch porn and all this. And I'm like, that is so fucked. And I'm like, how is nobody marching in the streets for this? And someone responded to me saying, well, no one wants to admit that they're watching porn. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I would be in Canada marching the streets being like, I look at fucking tranny porn. Give me my rights to it. Fuck off. Like, it's just insane. That was my breaking point back then. And now they got to the point where they need TV licenses. If you have a TV, you need to pay for a license. You need the porn license. It's a fucking meme, the absolute state of the UK with their licenses. So... they really need to start fighting and standing up. And I know a lot of people are. It's not everybody, but I mean, there needs to be a shift. And hopefully Tommy is that shift, but we'll see.
I just don't want him to, fucking die over this. It's just like...
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It is probably a death sentence for him. But I think realistically what's going to end up happening is... there's going to be a similar thing. Now that there's a precedence, now that the courts know they can get away with doing a gag order on the media, you're going to have a very controversial thing pop up that makes this Tommy Robinson thing look like I'm trying to think of a similar situation to America, but God actually likes us. So it'd be like some kind of actual rape gang or something. And there'd be some ongoing investigation, and the media would be like, okay, well, we need to tell people about this so that, they're keeping their children safe.
Well, it just came out that there was rape gangs plaguing the UK for 30 years, and the cops didn't report on it?
Yeah, well, you had people who were in one of the rape gangs saying that the cops were in on it. This is probably a very similar situation to what's going on in Hollywood, where people in power are just, using pedophiles because... that's the one group society will never accept, so they can blackmail pedophiles to do whatever they want. But how's that red pill anyway? I think, first of all, I don't think the UK is going to actually solve the problem. I'm looking at this liberalist thing that's coming up, and that's definitely not the
about
solution.
The stepfather.
Yeah, Sargon. I think. And it's kind of sad to say this, I think that Mr. Medicare cares more about free speech in the UK than the entirety of the liberalist movement. And I think the only reason he cares about free speech in the UK is because everyone knows that when the UK goes to shit, America has to go to war with them again. Nobody's going to be willing to talk about it, but...
Well, I had a pretty unique opinion on the liberalist thing, because when it was announced, it was immediately a meme and everything. And I was actually like, let's see what happens. I'm actually on board with this. I agree with Sargon and all his original talking points. And I get that it's cringy. Like, I got that it was funny. Like, I was memeing on it as well. But at the same time, I'm like, it's also important. However, since its inception, Sargon has handled it so badly. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm actually standing behind you, and you're just, like, focusing on trolls. Like, I think it was yesterday he did a stream, and he was like, well, Tommy, it's his fault. He shouldn't have done it. He knew he was under suspension. It was like, doesn't matter. The law's unjust. It was like Medicare said, that didn't stop you from speaking up for Count Dankula. That was the law. So what's
Tommy
the fucking difference here?
Robinson was the make or break for the Liberalists. I think that the name was stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm also American, and the term liberal means something way different here. It's a derogatory. But I would have gone with something like the British Association of My Freedom, so it's like badass motherfuckers.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
immediately better. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what would have been a lot better is if Sargon, because Sargon does have a wide reach. He needs to network with the other groups. He needs to push, and hope that a political party absorbs this freedom of speech movement, this single issue movement, kind of like how the Democrat Party absorbed the Green Party for a little bit during the Al Gore thing, and how Republicans absorbed the Tea Party.
Well, they got UKIP, right? Like, I mean, I don't know
too much about British politics. UKIP is shit, isn't it? Like,
I don't know. I thought they were okay. Well,
I mean, never win.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nigel Farage was the leader of UKIP, and that did Brexit. But then he immediately was like, "Okay, I'm done. I got Brexit." But it's like, no, mate, you didn't, because they're fighting it still.
I can't understand Brexit. Like, I'm looking at the EU, and from what it sounds like, Brexit would be very similar. And I mean, when I was looking at the media coverage, again, I don't pay too much attention to the EU. I only care about things God does. But I was looking at the situation that was kind of surrounding it, and they were treating it as if a state tried to secede from the United States. And when I was looking at that, I'm like, okay, well, if a state secedes from the United States, it's war. It's a declaration of war. Because that's what happened last time. So,
but I mean, this is the EU, and the EU is relatively new.
Yeah, but they are trying to create a standing army.
Yeah, no, the EU is pretty much like the head of like globalization, pretty much. Like they want that. So.
Yeah, it's Germany trying to screw everything up again. We
need to as usual.
Yeah, I just think that Germany shouldn't even be allowed to be a country.
I'm part German, and I agree with you.
Well, this is all I'm saying, right? Like, you think that, like, Islam is bad, or you think that, like, corporatism is bad, or the man's pushing you down. Okay, well, Germany went to war with the world twice. We're coming up on the third time, and almost won. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think that's a Norm Macdonald joke.
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald
joke. But like they really did. They almost won.
Yeah.
And
they went to war with the world.
And the sad part is they almost won.
Yeah.
They keep trying to push a policy on the world. The First World War, technically, that was just retaliation. But the Second World War, you know, it was Nazism, it was identity politics, and, you know, it's completely different now. You know, there's no identity politics they're pushing on now. They're not calling for any murders. They don't have Jew-hating people that they're, you know, trying to bring in. Did you guys actually know that Hitler, like, wanted Germany to be Muslim?
Yep. No, that's World War II is like my favorite part of history, and I love looking at all that shit. And when I learned that, I was just like, oh my god, he's literally like an SJW back then.
No, he was. He was a vegetarian who smoked pot, talked about women's rights, and wanted to bring in Muslims.
Yeah. No, I saw quotes where he's pretty much saying that he's upset that German society was Christian, because if it was Muslim, he could dominate it way better, and they would be more unified, all this shit. And, it's the worst.
We do have someone else joining us right now, so I will unmute them and let them talk if it lets me. Why does it do this to me?
Before we unmute him, hopefully he gets out of the wind tunnel.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing. I will tell them to unmute themselves. Why won't it let me unmute people all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Okay.
You have to unmute yourself, my dude.
Yeah, you gotta unmute yourself. It won't let me unmute you. All right. Well, we can keep talking in the meantime until this.
So the Jews. Yeah. No. So anyway, with the Tommy Robinson thing, yeah. Pretty much. Please look into that. Please talk about that. Because I mean, he is the last man. Pretty much, he's the main man fighting for UK's rights and freedoms and the safety of your children. So.
We should try and get Nuke Britain trending on Twitter.
Yeah, no. If any harm comes to him, I'm totally down. Like, I think if any harm comes to him, that could honestly be that will turn him into a martyr. That makes.
We got a Joe as well. What's going on? All of a sudden, letting people in. Oh my God! Hello, Joe. You can talk. Don't worry.
Wait, Joe. Before you talk, I have to let you know, we have updated our privacy policy.
Oh no. Oh no.
In accordance with the EU's new guidelines. I mean, I'd read the whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll be here all night.
The joke has been acquired.
Oh yeah, Lucky. Before you go, I have a pun that's that is Islam related. Well, you know how you have a porn about migrants. Well, they sure have a fatwa. Well, the girls of the hijab have fatwa when it comes to the cum loads.
Oh my.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, Shikaki's sticking around. I'm fine with him sticking around.
Are people asking me to leave?
No, you're not. Fuck that. Hello? Oh, we got Joe. Okay. No, Shikaki's sticking around.
Hey.
Hey, it's great to be here, but I don't agree to the terms of service, so goodbye, everybody.
Oh my God.
All right, see ya, bud.
No, feel free to introduce yourself if you have a topic you want to talk about. We were just talking about Tommy. If you have anything you want to add to that, if not, feel free to bring up a new topic.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I got here when it started because I really wanted to be involved in this. It was Michael who invited me to the group originally back when, because on the day that Trump was inaugurated, I came out as a Trump supporter. Because I was the editor. I'm an editor for podcasts, and it's all like liberal. So basically, everybody hates him. But I decided, all right, people are asking me to do this podcast. I'll go on. I'll talk to the guy. And the guy was a piece of shit. Like the first thing he asks me is like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?" And I'm just trying to be like, President Trump is not a Nazi. Like, his daughter's a Jew. Like, it's not that. I don't know what to tell you people. And then I ended up losing some friends over it, and it sucked. But and then Michael was gracious enough to invite me to you guys, and you guys have been a satisfactory replacement, above satisfactory, I should say.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
if I had a nickel every time somebody called me above satisfactory, you know what you should do? Just sit your friend down, look him in the eyes, and say, "I don't care about being on the right side of history. I just want to be on the right side of the wall."
That's not bad. Yeah, I'm a converted leftist, so I grew up I say my household is conservative, but not wasn't like overly conservative. And by the time I went to college, it was I was part of a liberal program, and so I kind of I do lean left kind of naturally. So I can kind of empathize with a lot of what they're going through. And the trouble is that we have never dealt with a society that is as sensitive as the one that we're dealing with right now. It has just never happened statistically, because you have longer lifespans, which creates a level of anxiety that is scientifically unprecedented. And we're also dealing with the fact that we have so much more stimuli over the course of the day. Like if they'll spend their time on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, and they're constantly being engaged on an emotional level. So our minds are more akin to that vulnerable state of investing into something. Like just scroll 10 posts on Facebook and you'll get oh, this is a tragic story. like this post because my little girl is missing. Like it gets like really intense, and versus what people used to deal with, where they would get like a newspaper once a week, and they would read it. They would read about what's going on, and that's it.
Yeah, one of those. This is so sad. Please give me 50 likes.
No, I see what.
I
know
see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think, if I remember correctly, there was actually studies that pretty much said that humans aren't supposed to have social media. Like, we're supposed to be kind of tribal and just stick to like neighborhoods at best. Like, people shouldn't be celebrities. It's overwhelming and stressful. And yeah, we do best when we're just in a small town or neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I find is interesting is that like I'm not a globalist, but what I'm noticing about the way the internet is connecting people is that it's the good kind of globalization, where this is kind of a tribe in its own way. Like, even though we live far from each other, because we have the ability to connect with each other, like this is actually what's happening. And that's why I'm actually like, I'm not the biggest fan of new platforms being built. Like, Gab seems to be going well, and people were mentioning like a U-Hub, which would be Pornhub's version of YouTube, and all of that stuff is, I can see the good in it, but I really want to like plant my flag down on Twitter and on Facebook and say, these are the public forums, these are the battlefields. And even
I agree with you, like if they let us go on it. So like right now I'm off Facebook for a month. I'm suspended for a month, and then on my Twitter I'm off it for 12 days, and it's just for like saying the word retard.
Ooh, that happened to me too for a week.
Yeah. So I would like I didn't want to go on Gab initially because of the same reasons, because you're just dividing people. But it's like you look at the God Emperor Trump page, which had like what 30K followers, and it's just like Facebook's like, shut it down. Doesn't align with our views.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much the main reason to move to Gab, in my opinion, is that they actually let anybody on.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to the point where like you physically can't get onto Facebook, then I totally understand. But like, I've because I am like a public facing person. Like, I have an arts career. I have a webcomic. I have reasons to put myself out there. Mm-hmm. And for a very long time, I would direct people to my Twitter at Tiny Anime Shrimp, by the way. And so it's really discouraging for these platforms, which I kind of taken for granted and thought that they were just going to stick around as and become institutions, that half the audience or half my potential audience is just going to go onto another platform. I'm like, I don't want to have to put out messages on like 6 different or 9 different websites, because creatively I really like to kind of analyze what each website is capable of and try to curate content specifically for them. Like, I like the fact that Twitter has a character limit on it, because creatively I like the way that it encourages me to write messages of a certain length. Like, I did not like the fact that they double the length of the tweets. I really liked when it was just 140 characters, because I actually like that restriction creatively.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm in agreement with you, and I'll point to Roger Stone. Roger Stone's in agreement with you. He got permanently banned off of Twitter for insulting some journalist, saying he's like a piece of shit or something. And so I don't know if it's still going on, but last I checked, Roger Stone was in a lawsuit with Twitter. And the main reason they were citing this lawsuit is you shouldn't be allowed to ban people because I think Jack, the head of Twitter himself, said Twitter is like it's like a new form of flowing water. Well, then, Jack, what you're doing by removing people is you're cutting off their source to this water that you're claiming it is. Because, yeah, Twitter does have a monopoly. So, I mean, if Roger Stone's successful and he sues them, like, we have a big deal right now with that court case where a judge said it was unconstitutional for Trump to ban people off his Twitter, to block them. So if it's unconstitutional for Trump to block people off his personal Twitter, then how is Twitter allowed to permanently ban people from their platform? It doesn't make sense. So hopefully there's some happenings that are going to happen because of that, because I didn't even take that as a loss. I took that as they're fucked now. So we'll see. But I'm assuming that it's not going to happen. And one of the main reasons that I like Gab is Gab works very similar to Twitter, except you can say whatever the fuck you want, and that's what I like about it. So it's really a unique feeling. And then also, if you aren't wanting to post on multiple social media, I know I'm chilling right now. Don't worry, guys. This isn't like a candid scenario, but there's actually an option on Gab where you can make all your Gabs go to Twitter. So if you're wanting to set up like that kind of thing where you're like, I don't want to have multiple things, then you can do that.
Yeah, but even so, I would think I would write a message that's more catered towards Gab, and then I would write a message that's catered more towards Twitter. But I wouldn't want the two to cross over into each other.
They're very similar, though. Like, I mean, for me, I've been trial running it where I've been putting my tweets through Gab. And for the most part, it's reflecting much of what I would do on Twitter. So I understand that argument because with Facebook and Twitter, I tend to do that where it's completely different. Same with Instagram, like everything is so different on there. But with Twitter and Gap, I'm finding it's more catered to my Twitter style. So,
Jamie,
I mean, what's up
about Gab?
Yeah, go for it.
Did the check clear?
Oh my god!
I wish. I'm fucking paying them for fuck's sakes. Like, I bought a T-shirt and what was it? And I'm subscribed monthly to their pro service.
We're both pro. We're both got stuff. I just bought the hat and a shirt.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm paying them. Like,
tell me about all of the benefits of going pro.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to jump in?
What's that?
There? We got one more person hanging out. That's going to be our final guest. Just wondering if they're ready.
Yeah, but I mean,
hello.
what I'd say is,
good evening on the band. Sorry.
No, you're
sorry,
okay.
Sorry for that. Sorry.
What I'd say is, like, I mean, social media,
Okay.
it's really how you want to use it. So I'm shilling for Gab, yeah, but like, I get just wanting to stay on Twitter, especially if you run a business, because that's or whatever you push your own stuff, because that's going to be the largest platform. But if you
you're using Gab?
Sorry, what?
You're using Gab? Are you old, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I have a brown girlfriend.
He'll frequently DM me saying, Charisma would be my waifu if only she wasn't Indian.
Yeah, I hate myself every day I wake up and look over at her.
He's like, I need to finish on her because it'll make her more white.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god.
Fucking hell.
But
I've already told my family not to watch the stream, by the way.
Good. Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, your family was subscribed to you, and I think you blocked them.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god. Homer, if you'd like to.
I am ready for this mental odyssey, Homer, my dude.
Okay. I'm Homer. I'm actually from the third world shithole. From the third world shithole. Yeah, shithole is a thing. Yeah, I'm what do you call? How do you call this? Tito Tomas, the Uncle Tom of Asia, because I'm too white to be a Filipino. And yeah, Filipinos hate me for that. Well, some of them.
Well, congratulations on your birth heritage.
I really like it. You know, being occupied for almost 400 years by 3 major powers. It's great. It's great. It's really great.
Holy shit. Was there anything you wanted to talk about today, or you just
Anyway.
come in to say hi?
Well, have you noticed this recent trend of being on the right side of history in gaming?
Oh my god. You talking about like Total Biscuit shit, or like
Yeah,
what aspect of it?
No, the Battlefield 5 right side of history shit.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Yeah.
They put women on the Allied side and say that, oh, there are women who fought against the Nazis in the front line during World War II. And the design director of Battlefield 4, of course, being EA DICE, they're social justice freaks. They said that it's only apt to put women on the right on the Allied forces in Battlefield 5, which they claim historically accurate, because it's the right thing to do and it's the right side of history. It's like, okay, right side of history. Where did I read that? Oh, it's Marx and it's Engels who's talking about it. mean, what the fuck are you doing recently? How people are actually hyped for Battlefield 5 with this? This is blatant agenda pushing. Like, and
Yeah.
also it is historical revisionism at its worst. And if people cannot see that, oh my god, I will be really pissed right now. I'm
pretty
totally pissed when I first read that.
It's pretty much Wolfenstein and all
Go
that
ahead,
shit
sorry.
all over again. No, it's all good. It's just like I hate this whole right side of anything. Like even when Trump supporters are like we're on the right side of history, it irritates me too. You know what I mean? Like I hate that. Like it's such a stupid catchphrase. It doesn't matter what side it's coming from, but everyone likes to believe it, right?
The problem with wanting to be on the right side of history is that there doesn't exist anyone who actually thinks they're doing evil.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a total non-argument. Everyone thinks that they're going to be on the right. No one would. People might be selfish. They might be egoist, but nobody is going to, spite themselves and spite everyone else and be like, I just want to make the world a worse place, except for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
You know what they always say: the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and this is not just a highway to hell. This is a ravine to hell, one-way ticket.
Well, even globalists
I think this is going to be the
guys. Like globalists think that the majority of people need to be contained for their own safety, because the more freedom you offer somebody, the more risk that you provide them, because maybe they can't take care of themselves, maybe they don't have somebody to look after them, maybe there's no police nearby, maybe they're out in the middle of nowhere. So with globalists, they want to stick people in large city centers. They want to put as many people as they can in as little space as possible, and they want to have everybody's basic needs met. And then of course they want to make sure that people's thoughts aren't too radical, so that I don't know what their end game is, and I'm hoping that they're not all just a bunch of pedophiles, but so far that seems to be the case. But yeah, this is what they want to do.
Well, their end goal is total control. That's it.
Right, and
control.
that's it.
Control over me, control over you,
doing the right
control
thing.
everyone else.
I have to wonder
exactly
if one of the reasons why it's no secret that globalists want Islam to be the new Christianity. I wonder if one of those reasons is that Islam is the only force that's both large in numbers and isn't completely opposed to pedophilia.
Well, I think there's also the
about
trouble
that.
with. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You're here. I was here longer, so you go ahead.
I was thinking. Have you read Gromsky's Suicidalism?
I don't know how to read. I'm blind. I take offense to that. No, I haven't read
Gromsky's Suicidalism. It indicates that everything that the West have, from Christianity to literature to history, should be condemned, should be destroyed, and replaced it with Islam, because Islam is the only force that they know that could destroy the West. So they could take over. I think I could share it. Could share it too, but go on.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm interested to look at that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Send that to me.
Well, we had you weren't here earlier, unless you were just in the chat, but we did have a fella tried to justify Islam, and he had stated that Islam is the only religion left compared to the Western religions that's still pure, because all the Western religions have become decadent. But all of our decadence isn't because of religion; it's due to a lack of religion. The increase in promiscuity is because people are turning away from the church, and the reason why they're turning away from the church is because, I would say, from like the latter end of Generation X to full blast of millennials, and then I would say the beginnings of generation, or like the first maybe possible wave of Generation Z, is that a lot of the institutions in place told us what to do but didn't persuade us, and persuasion is a big deal. So when religion just says, do this because God says so, go to school because authority says so, and people turned away from that, that turned into the decadence that we now see. Now that we have so many great people on YouTube, and one guy I listen to regularly, who's Andrew Klavan, he justifies religion in a way that nobody has done before.
Silence.
Yeah, I could talk. So one of the reasons why I don't...
I just don't disagree, so...
one of the reasons I don't really read books is that I just accept the fact that I'm naturally smarter than everyone else, so I bring myself to that standard. No, I'm kidding.
On the right side of brains, yeah.
I am the movie Bob of the alt-right. But I think one of the things with Christianity, first of all, before Christianity, you had Judaism. And Judaism didn't really spread through force in the beginning. I mean, it did in the Old Testament, and what I mean is, when the Roman kingdom fell, the Germanic barbarians liked Judaism because it provided a sense of structure and progress. So a lot of Romans, and you'll see this in the New Testament, particularly in the teachings of Mark at the end, but they're wondering, can a non-Jew become a Jew? And that's where you start getting the three different kinds of men. A Gentile who, is total atheist or pagan. The God-fearing man, which is a term that's used a couple of times in the Bible, quite a few, which refers to a Gentile who believes in the Jewish God, and then a Jew. And the reason I'm bringing this up is from there we got, Christianity. From Christianity, we got even further along. The idea that religion, because I see a lot of people say this, they say that religion is like the next hurdle that society has to jump over. Sorry, you don't jump through hurdles. It's the next hurdle that society has to jump over. And then we'll get to, the promised land. It's totally false. And the reason why it's false is because religion is one of the things. Now, I can't say all religions because obviously we're not talking about Islam. But religion is one of the things that's stopping a lot of bad people from doing bad things. You have, and I see this all the time, you have people who are completely broken, who are coming to the church and are trying to find, some kind of solace. If the church wasn't there, who's to say they wouldn't be the next mass shooter? If the church wasn't there, who's to say they wouldn't be the next rapist? And I'm not saying that, all atheists are evil, all church people are good. Obviously, that would be a dumb argument to make. But it's important to have these institutions that are at least there to try and repair people who are broken that society doesn't care about anymore.
And also, the biggest irony of them all is the people that are the most anti-religion or anti-theist strongly adopt an ideology that could be, I forgot what's the word that's similar to religion, like feminism, like all these ideologies, communism, in the sense.
Dogma?
What?
Is that the word you're looking for? Dogma?
Yeah, but I'm thinking analogous. Because think of it this way: in communism, religion is during communist countries, religion is abolished mainly because communism is the ideology, which is akin to the religion. You basically say, okay, our leader is basically a god who can do no wrong, and he provides people with production.
Awesome. Well, guys, we've been going for about 3 hours. So I think I'm going to close it up now.
Yeah, I need to find some tendies.
We are planning to do this more often because I think it went pretty well. So I think
it's pretty good.
I really
too bad I was late for the party. Like, goddamn,
it's all good, dude.
Don't even worry about it. If you
Your
guys
argument with the Muslim was like the funniest thing that's happened to me.
I want to turn this into blood sports. How do we do that?
Well, there's an opening. I mean, is blood sports even a thing anymore? Like, what's even going on?
No, there's honestly, Jamie. I don't know if you watch a stream with Tonka, Failure, and Andy, but there's like so much bitching at each other.
All I'll say is, yeah, I saw that, and it's so hard to follow. It's you need to watch like 8 hours a day. But from what I gathered, I'm team failure on this. It seemed, I don't know. I'm leaning more towards his side of things.
I
It's a
think
fucking mess.
The problem is everybody who runs blood sports is really thick-headed, so we need something that isn't so thick. And blood is thicker than water. May I suggest water sports?
I think that's something else already. Like
water sports, where
Squirt
everyone
sports.
delivers.
That's more like it.
Oh,
Squirt sports.
Do I need to wear a bikini for that, or like what did I do there?
White shirt.
Whatever you want to get peed on.
Oh, okay, yeah, a bikini sounds good then. As long as it's by you, I'm good.
Oh my god! All right, well, guys.
Shit.
Let
Thank
me
you.
chalk it down some asparagus and really make this some kinky.
Jesus Christ.
I will say that, like, in terms of like blood sports, yeah, it's kind of a mess over on my boy the Kumite side, but Ralph's doing so super good.
Well, that's because Ralph he's not stupid. He knows how to run a show like that. You know?
Yeah.
And plus, he doesn't go, all right, you want to fight me in real life?
Jesus.
I've had some quote-unquote beef, not really though, with Ralph because he wanted to get on his stream and I didn't want to make my guests uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, he's not a dumb guy, like, except when he's drunk and attacks the police officer's car. That's pretty stupid. Other than that,
yeah,
if you say his name enough, he'll come on.
That's true, actually. I'd be fine with that.
I think Ralph's awesome. I mean, whatever. People have issues with him in the past, but I think he's been doing really well lately. So
I didn't follow him too much, like during the whole Gamergate thing. Like it was a little bit on and off, but been following him since he became the newcomer in Bloodsports, and yeah, he seems like a good boy.
I think I'm one of the few people that never like really had an issue or drama with him, but I was always surrounded by people who did. So I kind of was just like, oh, I just want to stay out of it. I don't care.
Just
like,
want to scratch my debate itch. I haven't been able to dunk on a social justice warrior since 2016.
We need to find something. If you thought the Muslim thing was entertaining, we need to find something you and me disagree on, and we can just yell at each other. So.
Okay.
There you go.
I think that every video game is easy.
Every video game.
Every video game.
I'm gonna fight in real life.
I'm not even gonna get mad though. I'm kind of just curious. Like, are you like autistically good at games?
My opinion is that you're just bad.
You're gonna eat your words, buddy. Trust me, you're gonna eat your. You're gonna eat it.
This isn't something I disagree with, though.
The great thing about it is I'm an American and we can eat a lot.
Oh yeah, you're gonna eat my dust for sure.
If anything, I just want to see you do a YouTube now where you beat like the hardest games and the hardest.
I already beat Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
That's tough. You need to beat Kirby. That is the hardest game.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby?
No, unfortunately.
Get back to me after Christopher Robin steals your soul.
Oh fuck. I have to fight him back. All right, well, I guess we'll do final goodbyes so everyone can shield their stuff. Charisma, if you want to have everyone go through their things there.
Yeah, guys, go ahead. You can start off with Homer if you want to tell people where to find you.
Well, I've been procrastinating, but next week I'm going to have a reboot to my channel. I'm going to upload. I'm going to start upload again, and this time it's going to be consistent, and it's going to be more comprehensive. And this time, all gloves are off, including my dermis, epidermis. What's the inner skin again? Never mind. I have nothing. I have nothing left, so everyone's gonna be bitch slapped for sure.
What's the channel name?
Well, it's Homo Ruglia Bolove. It's yeah.
If you want, you
so
can you can tweet it at me, and then I'll retweet it so people can see that.
Well, I'm the heretic of gaming. I'm your resident video game heretic. Everybody hates me. I got banned from Twitter 4 times.
Oh my god.
Awesome. I'm so sorry. Damn you, Jack.
Joe, if you want to go off and tell us where to find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to my Twitter, which is at Tiny Enemy Shrimp, TinyEnemyShrimp. And then that'll link you to the other things that I do.
Excellent. Mr. Shikaki?
What did you say about my cock?
Jesus. It's getting too late for this.
Yeah,
Guys, get a room, will ya?
My YouTube is Mr. Shikaki. My Twitter is Mr. Shikaki. My Discord is not Mr. Shikaki. So I'm thinking about making a YouTube channel in the future. I want to separate politics from video games, and also my current YouTube channel is dead, and I've said stuff on there that are no longer my opinions. I want to be the next consumer advocate YouTuber, but I also want to be a bastard. So I'm going to try and think of a way to combine those two things. It's going to be pretty hard to unknow my father, but make sure you check me out. I'm not a funny guy, but I'm a funny looking guy.
Well, you're a bastard, so you can be funny.
I love it.
I disagree.
Awesome.
You have good delivery.
Thank you. I love you.
I brought him on here because he's one of my favorite shit posters. We bonded over Yu-Gi-Oh! It was great.
Oh, are you playing Duel Links?
No, dude.
No?
Dude. No, man. I jump from game to game constantly. Good luck trying to get me to play anything.
Oh my god, it's voice acted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the original cast. You get to play as the characters, level them up. It's a mobile game. It's free. You should try it.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm down.
If you guys get a shill Gab, I get a shill Konami.
Go ahead, dude. Whatever. Pachinko company.
When there is light, there must be darkness.
Mike, go ahead. Let us know where to find you.
Well, you can find me at Gab, All Opinion Man. I don't post that much. I mostly just repost photos that I find funny.
Love it. So last thing, if you do want to get that Honey Pop code, you have a chance to win it by following our group on Gab. So sign up on Gab, join our group, free speech. You can just do it in the search bar or go on my Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. We've got it all up there. And then just DM me saying that you want a chance to win. I'm going to give 2 codes away tonight. So yeah. Thank you to everyone who joined, and we're going to close this out. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.